Yippee.
Man. Oh, the thing started for you, yeah? Hey, for you,
Hey,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Let's talk. The itches from yesterday.
Getting fucked up now, innit?
Yes, that's it, man. So here we go.
Go, man.
Okay, yeah, and we're going to go into that as well, as usual. All right, with your lives. So first and foremost, as usual, we're going to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakam Kudash. And double honors to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone that taught us what we know today. And you know, as well as you brothers, giving y'all the salutation supporting this ministry, and as well as shalom to the brothers and as well as the sisters that support what we say. All right, most importantly, take heed to these scriptures. You know, and once again, all of you brothers out there that's doing the work, once again, salutations, man. You know, to all of the brothers on down. You know, to the elders and as well as the lesser brothers as well. You know. So yeah, we're gonna get started with a scripture in the book of Mark 3 and verse 23. Because what you have is this coronation thing going on, which is going to be officially happening around the 6th, which is tomorrow of this month, which is going to be on Saturday. But you know, there's a problem, and the problem is that a lot of the people down here in the UK and as well as around the world don't really take a liking to the this so-called king happy world. You know, and this is the topic that we're going to get into and speaking on. And you know, as usual, the Spirit of the Lord has it to where we go on different topics and everything. You know, because it's the Spirit of the Lord that influences us to teach. So, hey, that's just how it goes. But we're gonna try to stick to the topic though. Yeah, read that, brother. Yeah.
Mark 3 and 23, yeah?
Yeah, Mark 3 and 23.
Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan?
Yeah. And that was a parable that he used against the Pharisees because they were both casting each other out. So Yahweh Shah was like saying, why would Satan cast out Satan? So one of us has to be Satan, one of us have to pick up the Most High, right? So this is let's read to the point now.
Verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
Right, the kingdom cannot stand because you need the togetherness to uphold a house. So we're going to use the scripture for the sake of this world right here, right? And you know, the two dominant powers of this Western civilization, the new Rome, is American Britain. But what you have right now is that basically there's no respect to the so-called monarchy down here in the UK. All right, even the older generation. I was reading a little bit of something, couple of articles, or a article, and what it showed was that the demographic of those that were of the you know, baby boomer generation, which were more of a loyal generation to, you know, to the monarch, they've pretty much lost interest in this so-called monarch, man. Shalom, brother. You know, they've lost interest. So all generations across this country that we're living in has lost interest of the monarch. And that's symbolic of what time we're living in. We're living in a time where Esau's losing his power spiritually. Shalom, brother. So if he's losing his power spiritually, what can only but happen next? He's going to lose it physically. Go on, brother.
That's right. Verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
Go on.
And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
Right, that house cannot stand. So this place is destined to fall apart. We've been talking about this for years. You know, we're not new kids on the block that just decided to set up the camp and start speaking about it again. We've been speaking about it, brother to brother. Okay, beginning with the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, we've all been speaking about the ending of the system. And when we were clearly seeing the ending of this world happen. Because when you have a bunch of people not respecting their government, right? And the government don't really take a liking to their people, you don't have a society. What you have is a destruction society. That's what you have. So this system is already out. All it's really waiting for is that third war, which is going to come. And the missiles are going to pelt each and every place, and we're going to get the hell out of here. And Lord willing, if we be of the hopeful elect, and I say that humbly, we're going to be delivered and saved, transferred to the kingdom. And the kingdom is going to be the new and improved empire of all empires. All right? Which is going to be an improved empire from what Solomon had. It's going to be better, and it's going to last forever. After this crappy ass kingdom. Go on, brother.
Verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand.
Yeah.
But he have an end.
Right, but have an end. And that's the only thing that could possibly happen. This place has an end because you got the people. They don't really serve and acknowledge the Most High. They serve and acknowledge the powers of the world. Even though people do say they don't agree with the powers that rule over them, but they still, to a degree, serve the powers. So they're in league with Satan himself. Okay, so you have Satan roused up against Satan, and now you have a destabilization of this system. You know, and what it is that a lot of people are not living accordingly to their standard. A lot of people's needs are not met.
Yeah.
People are going through financial turmoil down here, man, and as well as in other places. So people are kind of like saying, well, to hell with y'all, man. To hell with those that are in a higher position. Because y'all ain't helping us, so why should we cleave unto you? Fuck your coronation. You know? Go on, bro. You're going, bro.
But that's sorry, say that. Yeah, but that's gonna it's in the UK, like really around the world, but really in the UK, they have something called a cost of living crisis. That's what they're calling it, but really it's their empire that's coming to an end. You know, and the reason why they call it a cost of living crisis is because a lot of people, their money is not going as far as it used to because of inflation. Petrol prices are through the roof. Because to rent a house or a flat in London is astronomical. One bedroom, the average is £2,000. So there's a lot of disgruntlement, and the government is saying, well, we've given you a package of money and we've done this and that, but even that's not enough. So that's going to lead to what's they call sedition, man.
Yeah.
To rebel against authority, and that's how every empire feels.
Yeah, because when people's needs are not met, because I mean, just because you're the king, it doesn't necessarily mean that's all it, and it's the end all be all for the king. No, the king has to do right by the people. As a matter of fact, he has more of a greater responsibility to lead over the people and make sure that his people are taken care of. That's why the reason in the what is it? In the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, if I'm correct, where it reads, "An unwise king destroyed his people." So when the people are not getting what they want, man, like you mentioned, there's can only but be seditions. We're gonna get into all of that anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Continue on this.
No, that's all we need, brother. Yes, sir. What you got?
This is Revelation 19:1. And after these things I heard a great voice of much people in heaven saying, Hallelujah, salvation and glory and honor and power unto the Lord our power. For true and righteous are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore, which did corrupt the earth.
Right, which did corrupt the earth. So Esau has corrupted the earth. He's a corrupted naturally. Mentally, he's perverse. So if he's naturally perverse, or they as a people are naturally perverse, they're going to corrupt anything that they touch down to. And as well as their own people, they're going to corrupt. All right. So we're living in a time period where we're at the end. We call ourselves the Israelites. Like a lot of people look at us and they think, oh yeah, we're Muslims because we got beards, we wear our hats a certain way, whatever, right? But we're the Israelites declaring the end, which was already written from the beginning. But what I wanted to say originally is that we're seeing, wisely considering, and the end of this world, the end of the so-called white man's world. This is where we're at. Okay? And they don't like it, and they know they're at the end. They know this. Go on, brother. And that's why they decide, they have this attitude of throwing their own king under the bus. But to a degree, they gotta pay him respect, because them same people that conquered the world, because the British Empire is very bloody, man, especially the new one anyway. very bloody. But the point that I'm making is that these devils that are their politicians made them who they are, made them the supreme, made them superior. That's why they were able to walk around and look at dark-skinned people as less than, because of the work that these niggas put in for them. So, out of respect, yeah, they should swear with the king. All right? Because if it wasn't for them guys, man, doing all that dirty work, these crackers wouldn't be where they are today. So, yeah, they should. But the point that I'm making, though, is that, not to talk too much, but I want to get back to the scriptures. Yeah. This society's fallen. It's already fallen. Because no one is in league with their king, and the king is not in league with the people. So, therefore, you have no society. This place is finished. Go on, brother.
Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
And that's exactly the situation. People are mourning right now because you have evil, wicked, unjust rulers, unwise kings. So these unwise kings, they're not getting the respect from the people because they didn't do anything to get respect with the people in the first place. All right? People are with you if you with the people. All right? Like it's not about, like I said, it's not about just the guys that's on top. Everyone is supposed to come together and bring balance and work together. That's how societies are functioning. Okay, it's not about just the poor people. It's not about just the king himself. You all have to work together. But see, this society doesn't rule with that understanding because you got people that have this mentality of taking everything for themselves. Like it tells you in the book of Isaiah, what is it, 47? If you can, brother, give me Isaiah 47, where it says that if you have not left one brick with you, that's this devil. That's the mentality. He's looking to take every single thing you got and not leave not one thing for you. So that's why this society is going to fail, man. Because you can't operate with wickedness. There's only so much time that you can operate with the knowledge of wickedness, which is not wisdom.
Say Isaiah 47?
Yeah, Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 47. I think it's in verse, what is it, 13? You see? 13. That's not, try, it's 49. There you go, 49 and 9. Yeah, I was just about to say that, 49. No.
Isaiah 49.
Yeah, start with verse 9.
Okay, Isaiah chapter 49, verse 9. That thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth. To them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in thy ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places. Verse 10. They shall not hunger nor thirst, neither shall the heat nor the sun of might them.
I don't think
That's not that one.
you know the scripture goes into so
49 and 9. Are you sure you
it's
need
Jeremiah. He's in, that's what it is.
Jeremiah.
It's Jeremiah.
Right,
49.
yeah. Grapes. Jeremiah 49 verse. Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 9. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaming grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have had enough.
That's it. And that's what they are. That's exactly what they are. They're thieves. And their mentality is, look, being that we're thieves, we're going to take everything that we can get so that we can be comfortable in our own selves. Fuck the rest of y'all. We're going to get everything that y'all got and try and basically, you know, put it all in your face and show up in front of you at the same time. And then when you're crying for some necessities that we're taken from you, then we ain't gonna give it to you, man. Because one thing about a thief never returns what he stole. You know? And it's like I've been reading a couple of articles about this reparations shit. I just think, and me and this brother, we was talking about it on our way here. They shouldn't really talk about it, man, because the reparations, if Esau gives Jake reparations, it's gonna come out of, it's gonna be some strings attached to it. There's gonna be some bullshit eventually. You know, and it's just been long overdue anyway. And I mean, if I'm really being honest, reparations really is gonna have to come by way of an ass whipping.
Yeah.
You know? Go on, brother.
Yeah, there's a scripture.
What's reparation? There, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what these jakes are always talking about it. And the reason why they're always talking about it is because they seen all the other nations get done dirty by Esau.
Yeah.
And Esau's paid them.
Yeah.
But after all this time, what's that telling you, man?
They don't care.
Jack's not telling you about how they feel about us.
Feel about us, yeah, you're right. Just
I mean, that's really what it's all about. You know, in this stage of time, really. Like it's not about money. It's way beyond money at this point. You know, it's more of really what they've done to us and what they've done to the world in general is worthy of a divine holy ass whooping. You know, reparations ain't gonna cut it. Let's say if Esau said, look, we're gonna give every Negro $10 million. It's not gonna cut it. They're gonna have to basically get that divine holy ass whooping so that eventually you know, that would then be them paying for the shit that they did. Go on, brother.
Esau makes the money. So
Yeah.
Esau can just print the money. He's not losing. So
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
well, I'm gonna read this anyway.
And so like to prove he's not losing because if he gives that reparation, you're going to put it back into the system
Exactly.
anyway.
That's a
good point.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have to be
Yeah.
we have to be on top of things.
That's
so,
Yeah.
in order for him to really be
Yeah.
losing. Numbers 35 and 33.
You go on.
It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land."
Yeah, that's the point. That's another good scripture too. For blood it defileth the land. So you can't pay with money off of the stuff that you did on the land, and then allow just to continue with a word of injustice. Yeah. It don't work like that, man. Go on.
For blood it defileth the land, and the land can be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it.
Bro, by the blood of him that shed it. Go on.
Defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit.
Yeah, so in other words, his blood is going to be shed. So it just goes back to what I was saying. It's gonna have to require an ass whooping. Esau, we're gonna have to put you in slavery. Not only just put you in slavery, but take everything that you stole from us.
Like for like.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. I've got the definition of reparation here. So I'll carry out.
You're going.
All right. This is in a dictionary. Reparation, the action of making amends for the wrong one has done by providing payment or other assistance to those who have been wronged. It gives you an example here. The Treaty of Versailles imposed heavy reparations and restrictions on Germany after World War I, and that's absolutely true. But but with our people's mindsets now, let's say they gave us 5 million each.
Yeah.
What would these coconuts spend it on? They'll spend it on rap music, and our women will spend it on skin bleaching creams because their mind has not been renewed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So if what reparations means to amends, here, they don't even want to say sorry. So they're not even going to. So you Jake's not going to get that, man.
It's a waste of time talking about it, and it's a waste of energy trying to give it. Because at the end of the day, like the brother said, if Jake go out and spend the money, it's gonna go back to the same people's hands, and nothing gonna get done.
That's true.
Instead of the money going into the communities, it's gonna go outside of the communities. So it ain't gonna work, man.
That's right.
True reparations is when we gonna get them enslaved and take everything that they stole from us. And that's gonna happen through the law when the Messiah makes his second return. And we're gonna be held through our bodies. So when we're talking about reparations, it's best to look biblically on that.
Well, you said when you read the definition, it said assisted help.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're assisted help with slavery.
Yes.
You know? And that shows Esau, it goes back to his banking system.
No.
It goes back to his banking system where he's pretty much conducted witchcraft from people, man, which is altering people's perception of what true riches is. Like, that's why they when they stopped making money backed by gold, it just became numbers on the screen. Like there's other forms of riches other than like pieces of paper, man.
Yeah.
Slaves is riches. Cattle is riches. Land is riches. Resources is riches, man. You know? So the true payment is you yourself. Fuck your money and your Bank of England, you know, and your figures on the screen. You are the payment, man.
Hey, brother, you're on me. If I had to intervene, Salakir, you know, it's a very powerful true riches. Freedom.
There you go.
Freedom.
There you
And
go.
we're not free under the system.
And you can do, that's a brilliant point, because you can walk around and do what the hell you want to do.
Yes.
You can check into countries and
Yes.
like, you know, you don't have to worry, can black people go here? You're free. You're free to go wherever the hell you want to go, man. You know? So you, as the brother Hub said, you, for the fact you're free, that's a rich in itself, man. So for you to have that transferred over to us, you need to be subject to a form of slavery.
Yes.
And us be free, man.
Yes.
And that's just the thing. So all of this reparations talk, it's just like I said, it's a waste of time talking about it. Waste of time. Because at the end of the day, what we're gonna do, right, is we're gonna wait for the Lord to come back. We're gonna expect His form of reparations, which is a better kind of reparations. And just like I said, what it's all gonna really amount to is them getting their ass whooped.
Right.
You know, like if someone came before me and said to me, right, like what would you rather have? Would you rather have money in hand, or would you rather kick some ass? I'd rather kick some ass.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like money can only but go so far, man. Money can only but go so far, but an ass whooping goes a long way. Go
It's
on.
like, remind me of that Tupac quote, the famous one. It says, the only best thing up next to getting pussy is getting revenge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely fucking right,
He's a
man.
nigga, but he's right.
Go on, brother. He's right on that. Everything else when he was talking was trash. But on that he's right. Go on, brother.
Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all that are proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And that day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that shall neither leave them root or branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings.
So that's your reparations.
That's our reparation. And that's what we need. And it's not just the physical healing, it's the emotional healing. Seeing Jake on the news always getting killed, or seeing their families cry and stuff like that, all of that's going to be wiped away.
Like one Jake, what happened with this guy, man, when I think he was on the train, whenever he looked into it too deep, and he got choked out by this one guy, man. And he actually, what's that?
Police guy.
No. I think he probably was a police officer, maybe a undercover. But it was a cracker that choked out the street.
Oh yeah.
All he asked for was just, I need some food.
Yeah, he was just a bit out there. It's a bit he's mentally disturbed, but he wasn't hurting anyone. And people just watched him murk that Jake.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then was it 2 days ago in Brixton, you had that black woman, she got stabbed up a couple of yards from her house.
Yeah. What's her name?
I don't know.
Johita Dogby, that's her. Johita Dogby, yeah, Nigerian.
And then the Jake in then the Jake in America, he went to pick up his little brother. He knocked on the wrong door, and he got shot up in his head.
Tapped in his head twice.
Yeah, man. And the cracker that, the Edomite that did it, he was old, man. When he went to the court, he was like this. You know? But he had enough power and energy to lift a shotgun and shoot him in the head.
That's
He's
that
probably
blessing.
faking that shit.
What? Yeah,
He's probably faking
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Trying to play the crowd.
Yeah, that's it, man. You know? Too many of all of that. Think about it. Forget about slavery, colonialism. Since then, have they been fair to us? Have they treated us right? No, they haven't. So that shows they're not sorry. So why are that reparations argument needs to be put to bed, man?
The scriptures let us know that even when Yahweh shines in the clouds, they're still going to be proud, man. They're still going to be. So why the hell would they humble down to us, man?
Yeah.
They're not even going to humble down to Yahweh Shai when he's in the sky, man. The only time they're going to accept it is when they start getting blasted with them beams, and they're actually in chains in the kingdom, in the pits, man.
Yeah.
That's when they're only going to, oh shit, okay, I guess we lost. But why, if that's the case, why would they humble down to us right now? You know, quick precept, if I may. Revelation 21 and 4, of what your cow said. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears
Beautiful.
from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
Former things are passed away. So when we get into the other world, the kingdom, then we're going to be repaired, and like you mentioned, brother, we're going to be free.
Yeah.
And then we're going to own people that once upon a time owned us. So once again, I call that real reparations. Because guess what? You own people as the people that you are an asset to. You have them as an asset. Go on, bro.
Yeah, 'cause we want revenge, man.
Yeah, that's really
We
what we
want
want.
revenge. It's not the same as you just paying us off to keep us, quiet and still living in this shit mode, man.
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 25 and 7. It says, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Yeah, and he that leaveth to see the fall of his enemy. Exactly, and that's what we want. We don't want to continue on with the enemy, man, with his measly money. We don't want that crap. We want to see his downfall so that we can have our foot up his ass. That's really what we want. Because we're men of integrity. We're not going to sell our soul for money. His fake, what is it, fiat fund currencies, which he's basically going to eliminate and bring in the CBDCs. Said it. Come on, man.
Precept.
Go on,
So your people died and went through transatlantic slave trade, so you can get some CBDCs.
You're right.
Come on.
That's an insult. That's a spit. That's basically what you call a spit in the face.
Yeah. Scam, man. This is Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah?
Come.
This that is glorious in his apparel,
Right.
traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Right. And that's what we're looking for, man. We're looking for the Lord to beat this nigga to a pulp.
Beat the brakes off him.
Yeah. And to symbol and to break in pieces his kingdom. That's what we're looking for. And it's gonna happen. When the Lord comes, we're looking for a couple of things. We're looking for the third wall. We're looking for the nuclear destruction to happen. And we're looking for the Lord to come back to destroy this place. We don't give a flying fuck about reparations.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what we care about. Read that again.
Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah?
Come.
This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
And that's another thing we're looking for. We're looking to be saved. This devil can't save us. He can't even save his own fucking ass from the Lord himself. So how the hell is he going to save us? Come on, man. He can't even save himself from getting what is it, skin cancer.
Right.
And that's a little small thing. So how the hell is he going to save us from our condition? Just a man fucking mortal. Go on, brother.
You can sell in life insurance.
Yeah.
You can't save yourself.
Life. Yeah, man.
Verse 2.
Their life is
Wherefore
temporal.
art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger.
Right, so the Lord is going to tread these devils, these Edomites, in his anger. Because he's also angry because of what they did also. As it is written, the Lord is angry with the wicked every day.
Yeah.
All of those years that he spent being in the spiritual realm, all of that pent-up anger is going to be demonstrated and used against this man. As it is also written that the Lord will shout as a travailing woman against this devil. So that's going to be the payback. And through that, we're gonna receive the real reparations from the biblical standpoint, which is the only standpoint. All right, go on.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury,
Come on.
and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments.
Right.
And
As
I
it
will
is, Salaki, brother. As it is also written that because thou hatest not to shed blood, blood shall pursue thee. And the Lord is gonna bring the blood to your doorstep. Go on.
and I will stain on my raiment, for the day of vengeance is in mine heart.
Right. So even the Lord wants vengeance.
Yeah.
Because even those that pierced him, he wants to get them back. Tells you that in Revelations 1. So he wants vengeance, we want vengeance. All right?
And the year of my redeemed is come.
In the year of his redeemed is come, because in the midst of his vengeance, all right, bro. In the midst of his vengeance, guess what? We're going to be redeemed. And when we're redeemed and changed to a different format, guess what? We're going to get our vengeance back as well.
That's right.
Now that's a beautiful thing for us. Because we never had to really, we never really had the power to really exact vengeance and to get justice. Because, we didn't have the, and that's why we ain't did it. But when this comes around and our change comes around, we'll be able to demonstrate our power and getting back this particular devil, these Edomites,
Right.
clearly for what they wrongfully done unto us. Go on.
Just to back up the elder, right? It's ancient Eastern custom that if you have a banquet or a party, when the king of the house is served his glass or his plate, then the party begins, and everyone can eat. So it's the same thing with Yahweh Shai. When he comes back and he initiates that judgment, then the rest of the elect can come through and start fucking shit up.
Yeah. Go on, bro.
Just to add to your point, Elder, in the scripture it says in the law that it should be eye for eye, tooth for tooth,
Absolutely.
wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So there isn't any single injury, no matter how small it is, was inflicted upon Jake that won't be accounted for. Like, for example, every lash that Yahweh Shai received when he was scourged is going to be accounted for. Every lash we receive from our slave masters is going to be accounted for. That the balance is going to be brought back. And then on top of that, there's going to be the judgment of the Lord for what they did. So Esau's going to have to pay a hell of a lot for what he done to us. It's like, what does it say? Render unto him double. To the cup of your field, render unto him double, man. So you can't even believe what he's going to go through, man. We can't even fathom in our heads what the Edomites going to go through.
Is that not called like righteous indignation?
Yeah.
Got precept there.
Deserving
Oh, select
punishment. I've got a quick one. This is Romans 12 and 19. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. Like I said, we're looking for the Lord to slow down on this devil and to exact vengeance upon them. Okay, to bring them the violence that they brought to us, and then eventually we gonna get ours. That's what we're looking for. We're not gonna be walking in the sunset with these devils, holding hands. Let bygones be bygones. Fuck all that. Yeah. We're not. That's not what we all about. Now, I don't know about these jakes out here, but us men of integrity, men that stand for something, we ain't falling for that bullshit. Okay? What we're telling you is that this society is going to be destroyed. You are going in the stable. When you do go in the stable, you're going to kick your fucking ass. Go on, brother.
Psalm 69, verse 23, let their eyes be darkened, that they see not, and make their loins continually to shake. Pour out thine indignation upon them, and let thy wrathful anger take hold of them.
Yeah, and you know what too? That's what it's going. That's what it's going to be. The Lord's full anger is going to be fully displayed against this devil. That's why I read in the book of Romans, the 9th chapter. What if the Lord would have shown all of his wrath against those that are the vessels of dishonor? That's what he's going to do in these times. So now what I want to get back to the topic and dealing with this coronation thing. If you can, brother, read that article.
The first one.
Yeah. Because you got people out here talking about how they don't consider the monarchy as their monarchy and then renouncing the king. The so-called king, because the real king is behind the pseudo king, which is Charles in this case. All right, the real kings are your bankers. That's basically really calling the real shots behind these puppets that you do see on your television. He's just a front man. That's all he is. He's nothing but a front nigga. That's all he is. And by me calling him a nigga shows you how far the monarchies come, man. Because I shouldn't have to call him a nigga. I should be trying for calling him that, man.
If I may, Elder, just to add to your point, this is as good as it gets for Charlie Boy. This, it's all downhill for him from here. Because, when Yahweh Shai comes, he's not going to be sitting on the throne. He's going to be in chains in the pits.
Yep.
So he's the best, as good as it's ever going to get for him.
His day,
It ain't going to get any better.
Them guys are kissing the hands of the Rothschilds. They're bowing to them.
This is the article from CNN Business, and it says it's not a good look. As cost of living crisis bites, some Brits are questioning spending money on the glitzy coronation. And it says the first time Angela Davis went to a food bank, it was mortifying. The single mother of 5 with 3 kids still living at home had realized that after paying her bills, she simply had no money left to buy food.
And this is the average person. This is not just this woman here. You got many single mothers that are struggling. Dudes are struggling. People are struggling out here. So then they have to pay for the coronation to a group of people that don't even give a fuck about these people. So the people are like, well, you know what? If you don't care about us, then why should we care about you? And it's rightfully so. In this case, all right? Because if you're going to govern the world or govern the people, you got to be just, man. Things work when it's in the spirit of justice. All right? If you're doing anything unjust, it ain't going to work out. So they getting what they deserve by not people having respect for them. Go on.
And she goes on to say, it felt degrading. I was a bit down about it. She told CNN over a cup of tea and biscuits.
Oh, donate. Oh, shit. Donate.
Served at the community cafe.
Because this is coming from America.
They're taking a piss, man. They're taking a piss. It felt a bit degrading. I was a bit down about it. She told the CNN over a cup of tea and biscuits served at the community cafe at St. John the Evangelist Church in Doncaster. The church operates the cafe alongside a food bank which offers free food, clothes, household items and other necessities to locals who are struggling. Davis lined up early, arriving 2 hours before the church doors opened to wait paid off, apart from essentials like bread and vegetables. She got a bouquet of flowers donated by a supermarket. And she says, I'll put the lilies in my vase.
Yeah, they're taking the piss.
What are you gonna do with the lilies? You can't eat them.
I didn't know. I didn't really go into that article. To be honest with you. I just know the time. No, but the thing of it is though, right? We don't gotta see Anyway, the point I'm making is, right, because this is for America, so America's making fun of the situation, right? But they're going to be in the same situation too. Yeah. But actually, no, they are in the same situation. There's a lot of Americans that are homeless, that are jobless, struggling. But the point...
Let's say, it's worse out there.
It is, yeah.
Places like LA, Philly,
people
are
bad.
all over the place, right?
A lot of homeless people on drugs.
What's it called? Is it Skid Row?
Yeah,
where it's a line of, it's LA, isn't it? It's a line of homeless people.
And you know what they said as well? Because they're there, there was once upon a time $20 million, $10 million homes is actually valued in price dramatically because of those people that are there. So America's got issues. So they don't got no business making fun of England. They got their own issues, and America's in a worse situation than down here in the UK. But the point that I'm making is that the people don't accept, not accept, I want to use a different word. The people have renounced their spirits. Okay, that's just the point that I'm making, and it's a means to an end. And it's not just people down there in the UK; it's worldwide. No one respects the throne in the UK. The Edomite throne, I'm going to say. No one respects it. Okay, no one respects the Western powers anymore. It's through. It's finished. Once upon a time, years ago, people wanted to come to the UK. People wanted to come to America to escape, from their country and try to make a better living. But people are realizing, man, you know what? I might as well just go back home. I'll be better off going back home. Going up.
Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, eventually that's what's going to happen. They're not going to have no rulership. That's what it means, because someone sitting on a throne means they're ruling. They're in a kingly position. So the so-called white man, he's going to lose everything, and including his power. They're going to lose their power. Officially, they're losing it right now, but they're going to officially lose it. Just so that we can sit up in power. That's why this world is falling apart. the world is falling apart so that we can rule next.
It's like it, and first of all, it's a constitutional monarchy anyway, man.
Mm-hmm.
It don't have no real power, you know. It had power. The monarchy had power when we were ruling, but thanks to the Lord did it. Cromwell, thanks to Cromwell, he conquered our people and made it a constitutional monarchy. And then he just dropped dead straight afterwards, man. See, the Lord used him to his purpose. Yeah, the Lord said, your purpose is done. And then he just dropped dead. His son didn't want the throne. And then Charles II came on the throne, but he had no power to stop slavery. Because it's a constitutional monarchy. So in their democracy, people, even crackers, are saying that this is not really democratic to have a monarchy like this. That whole thing is being spent 250 million on that one coronation, man. That's a lot of money, man. And we're paying for it.
And it's money that people don't really have.
Yeah, money that people don't really have, man.
So they're getting all of that bank, but the average person is struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah.
Remember what they're doing to the NHS, they don't even want to pay these nurses.
Yeah. They have to go out in the streets and scream pay rise. That's pathetic. But they're gonna tell these guys to go and then another thing too I want to say as well is that King Charles III supposedly is the king, right? Why is he begging the people to partake in the coronation? A king shouldn't have to beg anyone to go partake in his coronation. People should just be able to go there because of who he is. So that's showing you how pathetic this devil has become. He's supposed to be the king, but he's telling people, please, come to the coronation.
Yeah, I heard that he's
That's
inviting
pathetic,
them.
man.
Yeah.
You think we're going to be begging? That the average person will sit on the throne? That's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. They're going to have to come. Their head's going to be chopped off.
It's doing the reverse of what Yahushua is doing and trying to bid the people to his marriage. You know what I'm saying? On the left-hand side. Instead of highways to bid them to come in.
It's because he knows that he's very low, favourably. He's low. No one cares about him.
Yeah, that's it.
They're unliked.
And I mean, why should they care? They don't care about the people, so why should people care?
That's it. I got a piece of it.
Going on.
All right, it's the 2nd Ezra 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
Yeah, I was going to bring that out too.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning
chapter 10,
that were before thee,
you can read that.
even from the beginning. So at the coronation, they said they're going to be a group called Republic something, and they're going to be protesting. But the police said they're going to have zero tolerance, and they're going to use facial recognition software for that event. So anyone that's got, let's say if you're grimy ass Jake, you know, and you've got warrants on you, and you go to the coronation, and the cameras pick you up, the police is going to swoop you, man. They're going to use that as a, you know, like a bait. Yeah, they're going to test their technology on you, man. And they've said it, and they've even said this. They said they're going to have zero tolerance, but that other group said they're still going to protest. So that's uproars of the people, man. Okay?
And you know too, they have to do that because they know eventually something out of these protests can ensue the violence.
Yeah.
Because it's at that point, people's backs up against the wall. So it's at that point where people feel like they got to go all the way out.
When people have nothing to lose, they lose it.
They lose it.
Yeah. Say that nothing. You can't change anything in this world without violence. If you really want, the revolutions are always done in violence. Because the people that are in authority, in charge, they're not just going to relinquish it. You have to take it. That's what the scripture says.
That's with violence.
Yeah, and the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. It doesn't say they're going to hand it over. We have to take it from them.
Yeah, we're not going to ask this devil, can I have my kingdom, please? The Lord's going to come back with the angels and take it.
That's it.
But before that happens, there has to be events that make this empire go down stage by stage. And that's what's going on, basically.
Put that in the precepts. That broke us up. Revelation 18 and 21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all.
So, and I mean, eventually that is going to happen. This place is not going to be found no longer anymore. So, you know, as you mentioned about, you know, what you just said about how you're going to have different situations, which is going to lead up to the major situations, which is going to happen among these nations. That third war, which is going to come, is going to literally destroy this empire overall to nothing. And this so-called white man, he's not going to have a throne or heaven to sit upon, because we're going to be the ones sitting on the throne and kicking his ass.
Yeah.
That's what's coming down the pipe. And this is why all of this turmoil is erupting in this world. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 and read, no, Sirach chapter 10 verse 3.
Oh, Sirach, okay.
And then also you get me 2nd Ezra 15.
Yeah. Right, this is Sirach chapter 10 and verse 3, and it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right. An unwise king destroyeth his people. In other words, simply just ruling the people with the ways and the knowledge of wickedness. So when you do that, what are you doing? You're bringing chaos. So then people have to respond and react to chaos because you're making their life a misery. And then eventually, guess what? You have no society. You have no kingdom. There's no root to your society. Societies take root, like I mentioned, when the higher-ups and the people are working together. Not when you have one group over here way more fortunate, and then everybody else is struggling. You're supposed to invest in your empire, man, your people. If you got all of that money, if you got trillions and trillions of dollars, man, like the Rothschilds and them got, come on, man, like this, the reason why you got so much of that money is so that you can invest in your people, so that your economy can be, and then you become richer as well in the process. Go on, brother.
You look at Gaddafi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's why they took him out.
And they said it was a regime, but there he's looking after his citizens.
Yeah.
You know, all the benefit, the free electricity, the free education, what is it, with the banks, the interest-free bank loans.
Yeah.
Foreign aid, for medical aid, all sorts of stuff. Man.
Yeah.
You know?
Go on.
If I may say, Esau is as deaf and he cannot be satisfied. And in his characteristics, he expresses death. So for example, money is supposed to flow. Like what you're saying, he should be reinvested in the people so that can help build the economy and build the people up, which helps build him up, but he hoards it. Which is kind of like, to use the analogy, it's a bit like a blood clot in the system. It's not allowing things to flow, so what's going to come from that? More stagnation, like a river that can't flow properly, the water stagnates and gets polluted.
And guess who the water's on?
Exactly. You said what I was just going to say next. So that's why the people are languishing and they're suffering out here. They've got all kind of sicknesses. They're bugged out in the head. They're strung out in drugs. This is a very unhealthy system. So that's what Esau brings forth, just death.
Yeah, and you know what too. And speaking on that, because when you go all the way back to the 18th century, and I went there because that's when Esau was at. That's when Esau already took over Jacob and everything. Ever since Esau came into the existence of the power seat down there in the UK, it's all just been nothing more than you know, revolutions, riots, year after year after year. I wouldn't say year after year, but like every 20, 10, 40 years, centuries throughout the line, it's just been total chaos among the people. So if you got an empire which has more of a record of people rioting against their government, it's a shitty society. That means it's an unjust system that we're involved in.
Hold on, to back up you and Caleb here, when you talk about like stagnant waters and stuff, it's like a dead body, a body part that's still attached to the body. If you have gout in the leg, the circulation is not really moving, and that leads straight into his New World Order agendas of reducing the population. Because now that part ain't working, everybody's stagnant. All right, cut it off. Now they want to start killing people.
Yeah, because of what they did. You know, they pump media out there that doesn't benefit nobody. And psychologically warping the minds of the people to the point where it's like you mentioned, there's no use for them anymore. But the thing of it is, it's like just like the scripture says, because you're speaking about, you know, like, for example, blood, you're speaking about water, right? Well, let's just deal with blood. The scripture says that what? Blood is the life thereof, right?
Yeah.
So if people are not getting their just due, which is the blood of the empire, then the empire decays itself. There's no empire. You know, so that's why this society is easy for us to see now. Because really what we are, we're outside looking in. We're the outsiders looking in. What we're seeing is this place has no reason to continue on. But let's get back to the scriptures though. Yeah, let's read that.
Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Cannot be satisfied. And that's why he rules off greed. He wants a great deal of profits. That's how this devil rules. He wants just a big, large sum of profits, income. That's what he cares about.
Yeah.
He don't care about the people. What people are to Esau, they're just nothing more than people that he can use to rob them all. Just vessels that you can rob. You know? He has no regard for life because this man is what? He's as death. He's not a man of life. He's a man of death and destruction.
Yeah.
But yet he wants people to cleave unto him. People are like, man, I tell you, man.
Yeah, it's like a good leader. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 10. Give me now wisdom and knowledge,
Come.
that I may go out and come in before this people. For who can judge? This thy people that is so great. A real leader will ask for wisdom and knowledge. He's not asking for wisdom and knowledge. He's just plotting. He knows his empire is going down. How much more can I squeeze out of people? Like this whole ULEZ thing. To drive around London. It's even outside of London, I think. From August, you're going to have to pay £12.50. What's that going to do to the economy, man? So everyone who has a car, they have to either get a new car or pay £12.50 a day, man. Woe unto him that does unrighteous decrees. That's an unrighteous decree, man.
And I mean, if people are poor, most people are poor. Once again, how can the economy work? Because don't you need money? Don't you need people? Yeah. In order for people to buy goods, they need the money to buy goods to put back into the economy. So if people are broke out here, how is the economy going to take care of itself?
They just find loopholes. When we're talking about cars, right? If your car's a certain year, you don't have to pay the ULEZ thing, yeah? So case in point, my car, this particular year, I don't have to pay it.
Yeah.
But they sent me a letter through the post, oh, we realized we made your car wrong. Something with the steering's off, and now all kind of cars that don't fit the ULEZ but have this type of steering, we're recalling them. So like, if they can't get you on one, they'll try to get you on two.
On another one.
Like, come on.
What, do you have to pay for that?
Yeah, you got to give the car back, they're saying. Or trade it in for something else.
Man.
So all along, it was fine.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
now
yeah.
that ULEZ comes, oh yeah, we made your car wrong.
But you see what I'm saying though, because they can't rule the right kind of way, they gotta find loopholes to get their money back. This is foolishness. It's foolishness.
That's what his brother always says it, because I'd rather not drive, man. It's expensive, it's a hassle, you know, some brothers need to, but, do you know what I mean? Any little thing, this devil wants to squeeze it out, you know?
Yeah, get Sirach chapter 10 and verse 3. Okay. And then we're gonna read 2 Ezra 15.
Alright, Sirach 10 and verse 3 again. An unwise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Yeah, because someone that's prudent, they're gonna what? They're gonna rule with care. Right? So if you got those kind of people that's in the positions of power that are prudent, that are looking for other things to better their world, then you're gonna have a better world. It's just that simple. You need the right people for the right kind of results for the particular empire. But in this case, you have unwise kings that are all about themselves, and it's all about gaining profits over the people. Everyone is struggling, everyone's poor, everyone's checks away from being homeless while they're sitting on their ivory tower. That's not how that's supposed to go down, man. Anyway, give me 2 Ezra 15. You know the one I want. For there shall be seditious among men.
Remember the article, Elder, that Bank of England released a statement. Brits need to accept their poor.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that. Remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, that's just brainwash, man. Accept it.
Mhm.
You know? Second Ezra's
Yeah, I've got it, I've got it,
15.
I've got it.
Oh.
I was going to say a quick point. It's like, you know, you look back to the old ancient days with the swords and the shields, and the kings would ride out. The kings
Yeah.
would ride out to battle.
Yeah, the kings were about to battle. Yeah.
These guys ain't doing that. They're not about that. They walk around with the, you know, with the army and the medals and shit. They ain't ever even seen any wars.
Yeah. Like is it Richard III? He went to battle and he got a sword in his eye, I think it is.
Henry V.
No, that's King Harold. King Harold.
Yeah, that's it. Henry V. Yeah.
King Harold, I think it was. He got killed by.
1066.
Yeah, 1066. William the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's during the time when Jake was in power.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Jake was in power. So our monarchs actually used to go out and fight, man.
There's accounts of that in the scriptures too.
King David, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
King David was a man after the Most High heart.
A real king wants respect from his people.
People,
Ooh,
yeah.
That's just the ancient custom. Even Pharaoh, he went out,
Yeah.
he rode out, and ended up dying. You
Yeah.
know, in the movie, they make it seem like he just stopped his
Yeah.
chariot, and everyone else went in the
He
sea.
got away.
Nah, man, that nigga went in the sea too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For his people.
yeah. He was a blackjack, man. A cracker, man.
Go on.
The second Ezra 15 and 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another,
Yeah.
and swords in their hands.
Go on.
For there shall be sedition among men,
Yeah.
and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Because I mean, you know, once upon a time when the people were getting what they wanted to get, you know, when it, excuse me, let me say it a different way. When people's necessities were met at one particular point in time, people are all right. Gotta tell you the truth, people are just average, man. People just want their basics met.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, if you're a person, you got a 2-bedroom house and you're able to afford it, you got your children, everything, right? So let's just say a 4-bedroom, because you got kids and everything, right? You got 2 kids, and you're able to take care of everything. I mean, you ain't worrying for anything.
Yeah.
You know, you got your little nice TV, shows everything. You know, the graphics are there.
Yeah.
You got everything you need, you want. People, you're gonna be all right. You're not gonna be looking to resort to the violence because you're comfortable. But you resort to the violence when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So that's why you have people with a seditious attitude towards their government, because the government is fraud of the people. All right, and that's how you once again you lose the system, because it takes 2 people, man, to work. It takes 2 parties of people to work together. Your government structure. You have all of these different classes of people, and they're all supposed to work together. We're all organisms supposed to work together. All right. The empire is the body, and the people of different class sects are the organisms for the empire. Go on,
Mate,
brother.
the reason why Esau doesn't want people having that kind of security is because he doesn't want people having time to think. Because if people have time to think, they'll question their situation. They'll be like, hang on a minute. So why these guys got so much and I've got so little? They'll start to ponder their bigger problems. So Esau overwhelms you with minor problems to the point where you can't even focus enough to look at the bigger picture. That's how he's got people off balance out here in the society.
Yeah.
But you know though, bro, but just like I said, if Esau was doing it the right way, you wouldn't have to think about why is my life so messed up.
But that's because he's insecure. Esau's always insecure. Like, you know, like when you're next to Edomites who are like tight and tense, because he's always worried about he's thinking, because he's a nigga, he's gonna steal. He's thinking, who's gonna try and take my shit? So that's why he can't ever be cool, because he's always like,
Yeah,
always
it's
having to
true.
side eye everybody.
He's just a perverted soul. He doesn't know how to really do things the right kind of way, man. Especially running things.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. When we were ruling, you know, we had the guy called Scotland, William, what's his name? No, Robert the Bruce. Robert the Bruce went over. Yeah, Robert the Bruce went over to Ireland. Well, his brother went over to Ireland as an ally against the English, and they started slaughtering the Irish, who are their people. You know, I mean, when Jake was ruling in the Middle Ages, there was revolts all the time. You know why? Because the kings were heavily under Freemasonry. They were underneath that vibration, behind closed doors. So, if that's us, can you imagine this man?
Yep.
This man is Satan. So the sedition that's coming is going to be something that's not going to be compared with. You know?
That's it. Because I mean, like you said, brother, like the old saying goes, when people lose things, they lose everything.
Yeah.
So if people feel like they don't they don't have anything, they're just going to resort to the violence. Because at that point, their life doesn't really matter. If you don't have, you know, the things that you need. Anyway, let me stop talking. Let's get back to the
that, just to say, jump on that point as well. That's what he actually wants. You're getting to that point where you're going to start hitting the streets and bringing out the violence, and then he can put them the restraints on you. That's what he really wants.
Test out his technology as well, his facial recognition, all that stuff. He wants that, man.
All right, brothers, let's get back to the scriptures.
I got a piece up. Isaiah 13 verse 14. And it shall be as the chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. So that shows that you blacks are gonna have to come home, man. You're gonna have to come home, because when this dollar collapses, when Jacob's trouble happens, it says every man's gonna turn to his own people, man. And that's when our women are gonna start calling us brother, you know, and having respect. But the Lord is gonna give the elect men wisdom, who to help, if we can help, and who not to help, man. All right. Verse 15, and verse 15. Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
Yeah, so they're gonna fall. Like those are the Well, I mean, we go a little bit deeper. Like Jake, you got Jake in the military, you got Jake that are advocates for America and England and all that, and for the nation. They're gonna fall right. They're gonna fall right along with the nation that they so-called believe in, that don't even believe in them. Okay, that's just the bottom line of it, man. Yeah. So read 2nd Ezra 15 again, but hope you show.
Second Ezra 15 and 14, he says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand."
Right, and that's going to be your people. You're going to have people that are going to resort to violence. They're going to use, and this is why America, what they're trying to do, you know, if possible, get rid of what is it? People owning guns, because what they know eventually people are going to storm down and do what they got to do, take it to Washington D.C. however they're going to do it, and shoot up the place, man, or you know, have rocket launchers and stuff like that. All right, so that's why they're trying to pass these laws to do away with these excessive weapons that the American people can have access to. And it's gonna go both ways. It ain't gonna just be the people storming against the government. The government is gonna have their power to demonstrate too, to defend themselves. We'll have to wait to see how this is going to go down, but we just know that eventually it's going to be great civil disobedience. So when people are saying what they're saying about their king, what is that showing? That's showing you that somewhere down the line in the future, if needs be, people are going to react and respond to the violence.
Pray something kicks off tomorrow, man.
Yeah, it could kick off. Something could kick off tomorrow.
A good example was when the whole thing with Trump, and the people stormed the.
Oh yeah.
They stormed
Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, so I mean, like that right there is just, you know, and plus they was even saying that people that got involved in that, I think the president himself said that. He said something to the effect of those people that partook into that made a terrorist act, something to that equivalent.
Yeah.
That's what he said. So anyone that acts crazy during his coronation, they can just treat these people like terrorists, or have their records, have their faces, on display with the technology we got, and go and pretty much go against them later.
That's right. They can film you right now, you're doing your madness, and then a week later you're sleeping, they bust down your door, man, drag your mum out the shower, drag you out the shower, and arrest you, man.
Yeah, because they saw you doing what you was supposed to be doing. Anyway, let's keep going with the precepts.
Civil disobedience.
So continue.
Yeah.
So this is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. It says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
Right.
It says, "The man shall desire to go into a city, and
So
shall
that's
not be
pretty
able."
much all we need. That's all we need right there. Like, people are not going to regard their kings. They're going to go full out looking to actually kill these people. And it's about near and dead to that point where people are gonna just about pounce on these people. You know? And this is, like I said, this is all prophecy playing out. All of these different situations that's going on out here, it's all leading out to this particular prophecy to play out. What the government is doing to the people and everything else, it's all getting to these precepts, because at the end of the day, it's all about the Most High's will, which will stand. Which is going to be one of these things that's going to break the system apart. Go on, brother.
The scripture talks about what is done in the darkness shall be brought into the light. And when people start to realize what these devils are doing, that's when that's going to come into play.
Yeah. So look, there was a little bit more in Isaiah 47.
Okay.
Back up that point. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, and verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Right, so first and foremost, his shame is going to be seen all around the world. He's going to be revealed first, and then the Lord is going to deal with him later. So we've already reached that point where this devil, all of his nastiness that he's been doing in secret has already come out. Historical events that we didn't know about, that's come out. So now what's next? The Lord destroy him. Go on.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel.
Go on.
Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness.
Right, so the Lord is just going to kick this nigga aside. He's going to be there silent, in hell, in a lower condition in our world. And what else? Go on.
O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms.
Right. And what were the Chaldees expert at? They were expert in dark magic. And so that we modernly have them today, yes, as they call themselves, the Illuminati, which the term Illuminati means to be enlightened or illuminated. And in fact, they're really not illuminated because they're delving into the works of darkness. They're bearing knowledge of darkness. So how can they be illuminated? Why would they call themselves the Illuminati when that means to be enlightened and they're in darkness? Go on, brother.
And it says, the Lady of Kingdoms, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand.
Right, and given them to thine hand. So we were given unto this devil for a particular period of time. Why? Because we've sinned against our power. That's why we came low as a people, and that's why we're still low now, because of our sins, because of our wrongdoing, and we take responsibility over that. And we're not going to be out here trying to act like, oh yeah, we're all saints, like we ain't doing. We do wrong all the time. Okay, there's a lot of us that's doing wrong, and you know what too? The Lord is jacking up a lot of our people too, and putting them to death too. Okay, because at the end of the day, the Lord ain't playing around, man. Go on, brother.
And it says, thou didst shew them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laden, laid thy yoke, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever.
Right, and that's what they're saying. They're saying that they're going to basically be beautiful forever. They're never going to be penetrated. They're never going to face any kind of walls. America will face walls. England will face walls because of the things that they have done. All right, and that's what we're telling you guys, whoever you may be. All right, because you even got the elites too. You know the elites watch us, powers that be. But we're telling y'all, man, look, y'all are gonna lose your kingdom. You're gonna lose everything, and as well as what you're gonna see, it's all matter of chaos. And you're gonna get the chaos you want. You will get it.
Yeah.
Because you know they have the the motto. The motto is called auto ab chaos. It's called, meaning auto out of chaos. So they want to establish a new world order out of the chaos they're gonna cause. And with this new world order, they can have full control over the people. They're not gonna get that kind of power. It's not gonna get that far. They're gonna cause all of this chaos due to the will of the Heavenly Father, so that our kingdom can take a stand, so that we can rule next. That's where all of this shit's going. The mindset of the people is gonna lead to confusion, and everything's gonna lead up where it needs to be. Go on, brother.
So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart.
Right, they didn't consider, okay, we've done all of this wrong, then we may have to see our end. Go on.
Neither didst remember the latter end of it.
Go on.
Therefore hear now this, that thou art given to pleasures.
Right, thou art given to pleasures, the living delicately. They're living good.
lavishly, man.
Yes.
That dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Right, and that's how these devils think. That's how these higher up devils think. They think that they cannot be taken down. And I mean, let's just be honest. If you've been sitting in that high ivory tower for the past 400 or 500 years, and nothing's happened to you because of the wrongs that you've done, you're gonna think, man, nothing can take me down.
Yeah, nobody can test me.
Yeah, we've enslaved all of these people, right? We've done robbed and spoiled all of these people, and ain't nothing happened to us.
Yeah.
So we good. But what they don't understand is that the Most High is building a case on these people for the exact time for them to receive their judgment.
That's right.
Go on, brother.
And it reads, therefore, no, do you know what it says here? I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Go on.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment,
God.
in one day, the loss of children and widowhood.
Yeah, they're gonna be in a negative situation. Yeah. America and the UK all gonna be in a negative situation because of the wrongs that they have done. Like if you look at us as a people, I don't cut you, brother. If you look at us as a people, here it is, we're the people of God. The Most High chose us, but yet still we got judged for the things that we done.
Yeah.
That's why we went into slavery. That's why we're under this devil right now. Because of the things that we've done. So how much more those that have not been chosen of the Most High?
It's true.
All right, go on.
They shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries,
Come
and for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
Go on.
For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth thee.
So in other words, what's gonna come perfectly on them is them curses. Those different judgments are gonna be perfect on this devil. So the Lord is gonna judge this guy exactly according to what he has done. It tells you that in Galatians, 3:25, the man shall receive for the wrong that which he hath done. Colossians 6:7 says the same thing, right? A man, So a man shall reap what he sowed.
As a man
So shall he reap. Thank you, bro. You got
I got that on me.
Oh yeah, read that then.
I'll just read it. Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. Be not deceived.
Done.
God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right. So this so-called white man, he's going to have to deal with the Most High. When the Messiah makes his second return, he's going to have to deal with him. So it seemed like, oh yeah, we got him scot-free and we got all of this stuff, and we haven't been dealt with. We're on top of the world. Well, you're going to be on top of the world, all right. But eventually, Most High's going to smack you from being on top of the world.
Yeah.
Go on, my brother.
I've got 3 verses, if I may. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, starting at verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily,
Yep.
therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. And though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged,
Gone.
yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
Right.
One more verse, it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the Most High.
Yeah. So eventually, when it's all said and done, they're going to have to face up to the wrongs that they have done. They're going to be dissolved. It's not going to be well with the wicked in this case. So it's looking all good and it's looking lovely right now. They living dedicatedly, like you said, brother. They living lavishly. They got it all going on, man. All right, they robbing people every single day, man. Their whole life is based on robbing people, and they living good. So the gravy train seems to be, but eventually that gravy train is going to be destroyed, man.
Yeah, even to back up the elder, right? No, but I'm just thinking of employment in general. They say whatever, it doesn't matter what job you do, yeah? Whatever you do, what you make an hour, they've divided it by 8. So if you make £8 an hour, let's just say, for the level of work you're doing, if they're gonna be fair, which he won't be because he's the devil, you really should be getting £64. You got to times it by 8. So when the elder said they're robbing you every day, you wake up there, you're asked to work, you're being robbed, man. You know, you're being robbed.
And
And
you
the
know,
trouble
pay
with
you
them,
on time.
and to add to it though, still like your brother, and add to it, they should be paying you daily.
Yeah, no, there you go. That's the
You know
law.
what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Another one
Getting
again.
paid
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man.
Yes.
It's because the time that you're spending your time at the workplace,
Yeah.
the money that you're generating,
Yes.
them, the
Yes.
profit that they're making, you're supposed to get your equal share of that
That's
profit,
it.
but you don't get it. You just get You don't even get your profit. You just get your time. You get your time, and it's not even they're not even paying you for your time, Fred.
Yeah.
And that's just the bottom line. Like, people are being robbed every day. That's really the hardcore reality of it. We're all being robbed every day.
Oh, that's deep. So what's the usual working hours? 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you get paid for 1 hour
You see?
of your eight that you slave
That's
away.
fucked up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you wonder why people are struggling and trying to pay the rent and trying to pay the bills.
Yeah, it's like
Crazy, man.
even the you know, these nurses that are striking. Sometimes they start 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
All right, and they got to do a meeting at 7:30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
handover.
yeah, handover. Yeah, so they say, oh, we've got Hamid over there and he over there, this, that. And then they work from 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 7:30 in the evening, then have a handover, and then they can go home. But sometimes, if they have to do procedures, they might leave at 8:30, 9 or 10 o'clock. But they still get paid for just those hours.
Yeah,
See?
but then let your ass
Yeah.
come to work late the next morning.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's an issue.
Then it's an issue, yeah. So I got, look, even though a lot of these nurses are not fantastically great, it's not nursing as it used to be, you can understand their frustration and anger, man.
This is Haggai 1,
Yeah,
starting at
yeah,
verse
yeah,
5. Now therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways.
Yep.
Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough.
Right, you eat, but you have not enough going.
Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink.
Mm-hmm.
Ye clothe you, but there is none warm.
Gone.
And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes.
And that's our reality. That's our life, man. That's why I'm smiling when you're reading it, because that's the lifestyle that we're living. Here it is, we're making our money, we're working, but most of that money is going to bill collectors.
Sucked out, innit?
It's going to your rent, and you have to pay taxes. And next thing you know, you got it's an ongoing cycle. You know, you get your money, you broke again, go back to work, and it's just the same old shit. And before you know it, guess what? By the time you turn 60 or 70 years old, you're still broke. You know what I mean? I got, you know, it's like, for example, put my business out there, right? My father, he's been working ever since he was 13 years old, man. You know, now he's pushing 60, and he still has to work. Basically, you got a lot of people like that. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of jakes like that, average person, you know, that have that situation, man.
Oh, that even in that environment I work, even the Edomites have to do that now. They're not 60, 65.
Yeah, they have to work.
Going to work, and they're not even doing soft work. They're doing
doing
building,
hard labor.
They're building, they're doing hard
Yeah.
labor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing hard labor, man.
They working like they're in their the late teens. If you're 60 years old, you're supposed to be covered. Actually, in the ancient world, by the time you reach like my age, you're supposed to be well sorted, man. You good.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be well taken care of at the age of what, 30 plus? I'm not gonna get my age away. But
Yeah.
30 plus, you should already be good.
Exactly.
But in this society, you gotta work until you're fucking dead, man.
Well, if you check it, yeah, it's you become a man at 12, usually work for 7 years. That's in the law. You can work for your dad,
Yeah.
or your dad can send you to another Israelite man.
Yeah, that he knows.
And then, that he's cool with, you become that guy's servant. You work for 7 years,
Yeah.
so by the time you're 19, going on 20,
You're established.
you're ready to take a wife that's about maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger than you, and you're rich, man.
Yeah.
By the age of 20, you should be gone clearing the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But in this world, and the elders saying you're 60 and you're still working, man.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to work, because if you don't work, you're gonna wind up on the streets homeless.
Yeah.
So this is just ridiculous. This whole entire society, this economy is fucking ridiculous, man. It's unjust on every step of the way. How the hell is a man at 60 still having to work like he's a young man? It don't make no damn sense. And that's why this society is going to be destroyed, just even based off of that too. That's just one thing.
And it's funny, a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, we was talking the same thing. How when you get, a 60-year-old man now, looking, back in the day, when a person was 60, it was like an old man.
Yeah.
But these days, 60-year-olds working same way,
Yeah.
getting up in the morning,
Yeah.
going to work, slaving, struggling, same
Like
way.
it's nothing.
Like it's
Yeah.
nothing.
Crazy.
But back in the day now, when a 60-year-old man is an old man.
Yeah, he was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah.
It changed.
Going on.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 7. I have seen servants upon horses
Yeah.
and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
And that's who we are. We're the prince. walking as servants on the earth.
Yeah.
Because of because of what we did, because of our sins against our Heavenly Father. Now we have to work until we're dead.
That's it.
That's the reality, man. Like even my great grandfather, he passed away on my mother's side with no money. All of that work he put in. He worked for force for like what I think, 40 years I believe it is?
Yeah.
40 years, bro. Like, come on, like even work for someone for 10 years is a long time. Just so that you can die broke. This is the reality that we gotta do, man. So you think as a Jake, somehow, somewhere, eventually one day I'm gonna get somewhere in this society? Negro, just look at your ancestors. Look at your great grandparents. All of that time they spent working for this system, what did they get in return at the end of their life? They ain't got shit. All right, they got Nathan.
And then they go and give you that stupid word emancipation, like it's some freedom declaration. It just means transfer of ownership.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's
You
it,
know?
man. Yeah. See, this devil and his words, man. And this devil's money is totally out of kilter because of inflation and so forth. So what you used to buy, go to the supermarket, I take this, I take that, I take that. Now it's not really going as far, man. You know, this is Proverbs 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, and his money system is an abomination. It's false, but a just weight is his delight. And in the kingdom, we're gonna have real money, which is gonna be gold and silver, man. And that's why they killed that guy. What's his name? Gaddafi, isn't it? Yeah, he wanted to do gold currency.
Gold dinar.
Yeah, the gold dinar and stuff. And they said, over my dead body, are you helping these, these savages, man? Even Macron, the French president, said that West Africa is our backyard.
Yeah, the French are the worst, man.
Yeah,
They're the worst colonizers.
Yeah, but when he said that, I was like, wow, man. And it's true, though. He said the West Africa is our backyard.
That's how they see it.
That's how they see it, man. That's all.
They just see everybody as slaves, man. Everybody's an asset to them.
That's why
You
you
know,
have
and
your
your
numbers. It's like a didn't to interrupt you, but that's why you have your social security, your national insurance. You still deals with you as a number, man. Whenever you have to do anything official, what's your national insurance number? They don't really care about your name, they just want that number because that's what you are to them. You're just digits on the computer, man.
I'll give you my name. What's your national insurance number?
Yeah, I had that today. I was sorting some shit out, man. Oh, can I take your name? You take your name. Oh, what's the agreement number? You know, without that, they don't care if you can tell them your address, your name, your date of birth. They need that agreement number, man. They need that NI. You know, slavery, man.
We're classed as business, as a business.
Yeah.
That's all you want. That's all you want. And that's funny that you mentioned that because I was speaking about that a couple of weeks ago. This world ain't nothing but a big business to these devils, these JOOs. That's all it is to them. We're not human beings. We don't have feelings. We don't have needs. We don't need all of that. All we need, the basis of your life, is your only purpose in this life is to serve and to be a slave unto them. That's where they want you. If you're not a part of that elk that they're coming from, fuck you. You're built to serve. You're built to enslave.
So look at it right here. London is known as a corporation.
See, but there you go.
There you go.
It's actually government listed as the London Corporation.
So that's very telling because I mean, when you think of a corporation, you think of a company. Right, exactly.
Assets.
Exactly. So all we are, we're just bodies of people working for the head man that's of that corporation. That's all you are.
Yeah. Hey, isn't Charlie Boy got a new coin now with his face on it now?
I haven't seen it yet.
Big nose on there, man. Oh my god.
Took up the size of the coin.
Yeah.
A priest appeared.
No, it's easier to take the whole coin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, read that, brother. It's like your arc.
Yeah, man. They're just that bad fruit. Matthew 7, verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. Neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good
Now,
fruit.
you know, don't get me wrong, man. I'm going to be honest, right? I'm going to say this because you know what? These nations that we conquer, they're going to be our asset too. They're going to be giving us tribute. They're going to be, giving us some things that we want them to give. All of that. But guess what? Eventually, we're not going to do how this devil's doing, where he's just going to have you as a perpetual slave. There's going to come a time we're going to release them and let them get on with their own once they get done building us up. But they're still going to be tributaries under us, though. Go on, brother. But we're going to be fair with them. Go on, Out.
A good tree tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Yeah.
Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
And that's where this society is going. It's going to the fire because the powers that be that's running the society has corrupt everything going. So everything that's been corrupt has to be destroyed, has to die now,
Yeah,
including the people. People, a lot of people. You know how many people that's gonna have to die because people have been plagued and corrupt. So the great, if you somebody can give me on the scripture where it talks about the second death, that's why there's gonna be a second death because this devil did so much wrong and brought so much evil philosophy in the minds of the people and it's plagued the fuck out of them. And because they're plagued, now they have to die. They have to die, everybody has to die so that everything can start all over again. The Most High's gonna have to kill a lot of people. Because you can't govern the people like this. Let's just say Esau said, yo, we're gonna step down and allow you individuals, you guys that are in the truth, we're gonna allow you, just like for example, Daniel, right? Daniel was to be in a greater position of the Babylonian Empire, right? So let's just say these devils said, look, we're gonna step aside, we're gonna have y'all handle it. We won't be able to rule over these people because these people are too demented to rule over them. They too bugged out to rule.
Yeah,
so what the Lord is gonna have to do, the Lord is gonna have to reset everything. Because it's already been flawed.
They beyond repair.
It's beyond repair.
If you have a slave and they say, oh, yeah, I'm coming in a minute, so I'm just taking my morning jog. No. Get your ass over here, man. Yeah, but that's my routine. No. We ain't gonna have that, man. You got that one?
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring me a second.
Revelations 20 verse 14.
2014.
Yeah.
I'll go now.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book, was not written in the book of life, was cast into the lake of fire.
Just like it mentions in the book of 1 Peter 3:10, hastening unto the coming of the day of the Lord, right? And it mentions about how all of the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All of this right here has to melt so that the earth can be restored and cleansed. Like you got this barium oxide and all various metals floating in the air that we can't even really see. We're breathing in this stuff.
Oh, it's terrible.
You wonder why you producing children that's got all kind of what's the word? Yeah, they got mental issues and they got the deformities and all kind of shit going on. Because it's toxic, man. The earth is under a toxic. The environment is very toxic. The people's minds are toxic. Everything is toxic. So the Most High is gonna have to bring a great deal of destruction like you ain't never seen before. Fires are just gonna have to run rapid out here on a grand scale to clean all of this shit up. Going, brother. Even the waters are filled with plastic. They saying that sea life is dying at a higher rate because of all of this plastic. Crazy this going, brother.
That's like the elder, the scripture says, menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Yes.
You get to the word monster, it's talking about deformities, man. And these Israelite women, they be the ones up in the McDonald's, you know, eating that bullshit Chinese takeaways, you know, things of that nature. They be right next to, they're up Esau's ass, man.
Yeah, right.
So then you're wondering why their offspring is just crazy.
Fucked up, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you got certain areas where Jake live at that's toxic. And that's why you also have children that are born with all kind of various deformities as well, because it's to do with the environment that they live in and the water's not being taken care of, stuff like that. So that has an effect on the the body of that woman, and as well as the children that she's bearing, that she's pregnant.
They got mold in the house.
Yeah, you got exactly.
Remember that kiddo, he was about 5?
Yes.
He died.
2 years old,
He was 2.
Yeah.
See?
I forgot the little boy's name, but I know you're talking about.
Ishak.
Yeah, Aisha. Yeah.
And there's also too much estrogen for men is toxic.
Yeah.
And they're putting that in the water.
And soy.
Yeah.
Soy brings that about as well. They put soy in virtually every food item.
There you go. And that makes men have an imbalance in testosterone. They've got estrogen. And also the fact that a lot of Jake boys are being brought up by their mums, their aunties, their grandmas. There's too much estrogen in their environment, so they're not growing up being sober-minded. Like if they had some strong male presence, like a man's supposed to be kind of like a rock.
Yeah.
Like it's stable. Now when you take that out of the home, there's no stability for the young boy. That's why his emotions are going all over the place. He can be cool with you 1 minute, but let you step on his trainers and he's ready to stab you. That's the man who has no self-control, man. And that's caused by the women, because the women, they just like, they've got no self-control anyway. They want to be loud and proud, and they put that on their boys. Now their boys are running around stabbing each other, man.
And Esau puts the icing on the cake. He actually injects the food with that in the prison system. It's actually a known fact that jail food increases estrogen in men.
Oh wow.
So when they come out of jail, they're just as bad as they went in, because they can't control their emotions. Like Caleb said, mommy did a shit job, and now you're in jail, you come out worse. So that's why the government's your dad, alright, and the black bitch is your mum. That's what no, for real though.
Match made in hell.
Yeah, match made in hell. These monstrous nigger children, the white man's their dad, and the black bitch is their mum. They go hand in hand, man.
Yeah, and they're holding hands together, man.
And that also gives me gives me the leeway to talk about this women liberation movement thing. Just to real be brief. That's what that was set up for. It wasn't set up to give women rights. It was set up so that the government can step in and take care of the children and misguide the youth and corrupt the youth, so that the youth can go in these jail cells and that the government can make a lot of money off of these unprivileged individuals. That's what it was set up for. Because if you can take the man out of the house, right, then the children are cursed at that particular moment in time, and they know this already. The Rockefellers that funded that, they already knew what was going to happen on that garden. All right, they already knew. They probably went to certain countries, saw how certain other nations use that that matriarchal setting, and it's pretty much a failed model. Like I did a video on it, just a brief video on it. You know.
Slightly as well. Going on. Also, before that, only the man got taxed in the house. So to make a woman an individual entity, now you can tax the man and the woman.
Exactly.
So it was a win-win for the win-win for the government, win-win for the bankers.
Yeah, and just like I said as well, you got more women than men. There's more women than men. So if you got them working now, you make it. The tax collectors is collecting money.
Liberty wasn't meant for women. It wasn't designed for women. That's why when you give a woman liberty, she always destroys herself. Always. Look, man, you can take any woman, put her in the right situation, give her enough freedom, she's gonna start showing her ass, twerking, doing all kind of madness, because women don't know how to rule themselves. And you're gonna put her at the head of a fucking household?
It's true, man.
And that's why, and this is why you have your thugs. This is why you have all of these different
Thugs
issues
and thoughts, man. I like it all.
Because when you put that female in front of everything, you have destruction, man. Like they was even like, for example, if you go back in the 1930s and the 40s, man, Jake had all kind of stuff going on. They had stores that they owned, everything that was there. So this is when men were in leadership, because men are constructive by nature. So when you put constructive people in front of the community, you have a healthy community. When you put women in front of there, you have destruction. It's just that simple, man. But this devil, they don't pound everything out. They looked and saw what kind of tool they can use to oppress the people, and that's what they did. They used that model on us, man. They got Salakia. They used young Israelite women to get them influenced by this matriarchal setting, by the Gaza feminists. Go on, brother.
That's why you black women are gonna die according to biblical prophecy, man. According to biblical prophecy, you're gonna go. There was a time, where the man will come home, the children are looked after, the house is clean, dinner's prepared. Now you go on Instagram, people get gassed on Instagram and the internet, and they got everyone's doing a fucking podcast now. Everyone's on my podcast. They go on a podcast, and you got black bitches talking about, I don't need to cook, I don't need to clean. Why should I do that?
But you know what though, brother?
You shouldn't wash your own ass.
You don't wash your own ass.
But you know what though, brother? This is what I'm saying. Cause see, like a lot of these young girls, they've been brainwashed by the system, and they've been taught to believe that they don't need a man. They've been taught to believe because their mothers had that mentality. You know what I'm saying? Their mothers had that mentality, and they grown up with it and everything else, and so they become what they became.
It's wayward, man. Caleb just made a statement. They don't wash their own behind. There's a song out now where the black bitch is saying, my pussy's pink and my arsehole's brown.
Oh,
I don't need to do this. I don't need to. I ain't lying, man.
No, I just see that. I saw that.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
I'm not buying that CD, man. I tell you.
Yeah, well, I'm not
That's the state
downloading.
of our people, man.
Download
They're
it.
boasting that they're dirty, they're whores, and that they can inconvenience the Israelite man. You're done, man.
Yeah, it's
don't
too
need
much,
that,
man.
You know what? Hey, Esau knew what he's doing, yeah, because they are known as the weaker vessel. That's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, because what they did was back in those days, the 70s, right? Because a lot of women at the time thought that the men was oppressing them.
Yes.
But it wasn't because the men was oppressing it. That was just an idea that was being invoked
Ah.
of them at the time, because of the media. That's why they call it a media program. So they use the media to manipulate your feelings, your emotions, to make you feel and invoke an idea in your mind, and have that idea to be real in your mind, and then they can come with a solution.
Elder,
That's what they did.
Isn't media a demon?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Of course it
It's
is.
a Greek demon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Hey, even alcohol is a demon.
Yeah.
And Jake did a video on it, man. I was like, wow. So when you intake too much alcohol, that demon jumps on you, man.
Well, you know why?
Spirits.
You know why?
Because
Because
spirits.
you know why? Because your body's in a transitory state. So when your body's in a transitive state, that's when the demons can come in and infiltrate.
Opens portals.
Yeah.
It shows how stupid these women are as well. There you are sitting at home, your husband's going to work. You know, you're going shopping when you want to go shopping. You're going out in the daytime with your kids. You're going to the coffee shop with your girlfriends and all of that. And now you're looking and you want to go out. So you want to wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Come home at 5 in the evening because your husband's doing it.
Yeah, but
See,
brother,
arguments.
they didn't map it out. They didn't think.
Exactly.
They didn't map it up. Because
No.
I mean, if you're raising children, if you're a mother raising children, right, that's a whole lot of work, bro. To just raise one child is
That's
a lot
a
of
job.
work.
That's a heavy job.
But then you gotta work at the same time.
Yeah.
So by the time you get home working, you ain't got the time to be raising little Jimmy, whatever she calls.
Yeah.
That crazy
Jeremiah 31:22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth.
Come.
A woman shall compass a man.
And it was really, and this goes to show you once again that was the Lord that did all that. But the Most High did all of that so that we can see. Because see, this is basically a learning curve. We're living in this world and we're seeing everything go wrong, and we're gaining knowledge and understanding of all of this stuff so that we don't apply to the next world. You know. At first hand, we're getting to know the knowledge of wickedness, and we're finding out, just like Solomon said, that it's not wisdom.
It's not wisdom.
All right,
I've got to show this up here.
go on, brother.
This is Sirach 26:10. It says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her instrainly, lest she abuse herself
Come.
over much liberty.
Yeah, over much liberty. Exactly, like you said, women weren't built for liberty because they can't control themselves. They're emotionally driven.
If I may, what's one of the main symbols of Babylon? The Statue of Liberty, which is a woman supposedly holding the fire in the book, right? Holding that torch of illumination. They put a woman there as the Statue of Liberty. And what has America done? It's liberated their women. So now America's pushing that wine to all the other nations which have their women in check. Now these other heathen nations, their women want to start doing what the Western women are doing.
But they got to go to America for that, man. You take a girl from Afghan and try do the American shit over there, her hands getting chopped off. She's getting 30 lashes publicly.
On a killing.
You know, honor killings.
Yeah.
She's getting hung. You know, that kind of behavior only works elsewhere. That's why now is in Uganda, they're laughing at America, talking about you ain't gonna bring GAY laws over here.
Yeah.
We're not accepting that, man. Because people are realizing now, man, this American guy, he's lewd, man.
Yeah. Definitely. They ain't falling for it no more. They used to, they ain't doing it no more.
So like it, but don't get it twisted, right? Those women of those other nations where they're held in more strictly, they want to do it. They want to do it. So given the opportunity, like if you was to buy them a plane ticket, they come over here and start whining out, man. There ain't no righteous women, man. King
It
Solomon
boils down
said
to the
that.
same woman.
And he dealt with all the
weaker
evil
vessel.
women, man.
Every
They're
nation,
all
weaker
fucking
vessel.
wicked.
But you know, like Afghanistan, you know, like the Taliban's taken over.
Oh yeah.
One of you brothers was saying that no, I think Dawud said that a guy from Afghanistan said, well, it's a good thing because now we can reinstall our culture because the Afghanistan women were becoming too Western. That's why they got a university over there called the American University the Taliban blew it up, man.
Good.
You know, because the women not covering their head and stuff like that, etc. Now, to the West, it means extreme, but you have to put a woman in her place, man. She has to know her role and not step out.
That's right. Well, you know, this society says that women can do all bad by themselves, and they don't need nobody to tell them what to do. You can't even tell them to watch their weight. Don't you dare say anything about their weight. And as a matter of fact, if a woman that's overweight and she's looking at you, you're supposed to accept her and
Yes.
Not say nothing.
and not say anything.
Yeah.
And also
Don't embarrass
look at her
her.
like she's a dime piece.
Yeah, man.
She's getting the contracts now.
Yeah, man.
Them fat overweight bitches are getting the contracts.
Yeah, man.
The Nike, Adidas,
Yeah.
you know, all the, you know, plus size.
And they're usually black women.
Yeah, black bitches.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Plus size where the top is going in like 5 different directions, conforming to her overweight flab.
Yeah.
And she's in some white background,
Yeah.
doing all of that shit. Bro,
Like she don't even run anyway.
yeah.
But she ain't really traveling
Just
in
do
her
it,
life.
bitch. You ain't doing shit.
Yeah.
You sitting at home, eating yourself away, advertising Nike ticks. Just do it.
Eating, what is it?
Yeah,
Dunkin'
yeah.
Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts and macaroni pie, man.
Yeah, that woman, what's her name? The actress, her name's Precious or something? You know, no, it's, African American woman, her name's Precious, and she's about 28 stone, man.
Yeah.
And she's called Precious.
Precious
of what, man?
Precious of
These
what?
women will talk down to you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
can't
guys
say
did
nothing to
something wrong
them.
on their dime pieces.
Yeah. Hey, I told you, that's how I've got 2 sisters. The eldest one, she's alright. The one that's a few years older than me, she's morbidly obese, man.
Oh, no.
And you can't even tell her. And that's why I realized that the Lord's put a gluttony demon on her.
But she's a diva, brother.
Huh?
You gotta look at her as a diva.
No, I have to look at. Well, I have to do it.
She's a 10, brother.
Yeah, she's a 10 or whatever. But you can't even say to her, look, man. Instead of using your car, why don't you just walk to the shop? Rather than getting a takeaway and ordering it, why don't you just walk to the shop and walk back?
I'm looking for trouble.
No. It's not even a yes or no.
No, because it takes too much energy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's fucked up.
It's all that Queen of Heaven, Semiramis, and Talmud spirit that our wicked people were doing in the Middle Ages, man. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Yeah.
It's Rome all over again. Check ancient Rome. Remember we went to the Ark in Central? After that I did some research. There's something called a vomitarium, man. Where you go there, it's like an eat for all buffet, and there's a section where you just vomit up and then go back and eat more, man.
Yeah.
And then you go on YouTube now, they got something called mukbangs. People get the high-end, they get high-end microphones, man. And you can hear them chewing, you know.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, man.
They going in on it.
They ain't talking, they're just sitting there eating like a fat plate
And if you see the views,
the views,
yeah.
man. The views,
And the likes.
man.
It shows you people will watch anything.
They watch
Anything.
anything.
For a while, man.
Everyone's got a podcast.
Everyone's got a podcast. Oh, talking of podcasts, you got a transgender overweight woman, or it, I call it, yeah?
I've seen
Non-binary.
Non-binary, and the it is crying that nobody finds it attractive.
Damn.
I'm a 10. Nigga, you a man and claiming to be a woman, and you fat.
At the same time.
Come on.
man.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why. But this goes back to the point why there needs to be a second death, because everyone's been plagued up the house now. Someone's got to give. Someone's got to change. Has to change.
Hey, but feel away, as what the brother Yoram was saying. They were saying that they don't find her attractive or he attractive.
Yeah, it.
But don't, if time goes long, you know,
You've got to say them.
them.
Yeah. You don't
As
find
time
them
goes
attractive.
on, people will start looking at them as being attractive.
But they will,
Because, they would, you know.
Yeah.
That's how. That's why, as Ellis says, that's why the Lord needs to come back to
destroy
this place.
It's no. It's this is. You know what this is? This is just folly. This is all foolishness. That's what this is.
I got peace.
Go on, brother.
Isaiah Proverbs chapter 23, verse 20. Be not among wine bibbers,
Aye.
among riotous eaters of flesh, for the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty.
And you know what too? You know what's funny? When you know, I mean, I'm not saying all the time, but for the most part, people that are gluttony like that are big like that,
they got money problems.
They got money problems, man.
Yeah, they got money
Struggling in big time.
Yeah, because you're spending. Hey, like Pastor R said this years ago when I first. The Lord brought me into truth. He said that. He said, go into an you can eat buffet is of the devil, man.
No, it's true.
Because here it
Very
is,
true.
a man
I'm
around
willing to
there
go through this too.
or around there has got no money and they're homeless, but you're going to all you can eat buffet and sticking 10 chicken wings down your throat, man.
Gluttony.
Seeing how much you can have. That's wickedness,
It's
man.
ridiculous. That's
Precepts.
Go on, brother.
Sirach 37 and 30. For excess of meats
You see?
bringeth sickness, and surfeiting
This
will
is-
turn into cola.
Yeah, and that's why you got people that's got cancer and what is it? Gout,
High blood pressure.
high blood pressure,
Gout,
cholesterol,
that's one. That's a big
high,
one.
there you
Gout,
go, high
gout.
cholesterol.
Gout.
Because what it is people are not balanced with their diet. So if you're constantly eating cakes, you know, things that you can fry, right? All of that stuff gives you high blood pressure.
And it's
certain things too.
GMOs.
And that's what makes it even worse.
They're excessing on GMOs, man.
Processed foods as well.
People was losing their, talking to the brother in the week.
Yeah.
Remember he was saying people was losing their minds when the lockdown happened because McDonald's was shut, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember the queues?
Actually, you know,
Remember the
all of
queues?
them cars was lined up.
They was lined up in the drive-thru. What's going on? You know, cheeseburger, Big Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah,
Returning the Mac.
they're gone, man.
Returning the Big Mac.
You walk past whatever. You walk past someone that's big here. The scriptures speak about it. You can hear their heartbeat and them struggling to breathe.
Yeah.
Still want it, man.
I didn't know something.
They still want it.
You know, you should be able to get a meat patty and put it between 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah.
And that's not addictive.
Yeah.
But they're putting so much shit in that shit.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I-
You know what I'm saying?
If I may, Baba Kashar, just 2 quick points if I may. I watched a video the other day of a woman who had a McDonald's burger and fries, and she kept it in her closet for like 30 years.
Oh shit.
And she says, look at this, right? And she pulled it out, and the patty was still intact,
Like
and the
she
fries
just brought it.
Yeah, like they should have disintegrated and eroded away, but they were brown and shit, which is like this food doesn't disintegrate. Imagine what it's doing inside your body. When you keep putting that in, it's fucking up your system, man, because it doesn't break down.
Yeah.
Now the second point I want to make, if I may, Baba Kashar,
So you know what happened? It actually looked better when she bought it.
yeah,
It looked way better than she bought. I'm just
Yeah.
No, it looked better when she bought it, but like 30 years it ain't deteriorated, man.
I bet flies don't even touch that shit.
No, they didn't. There weren't no flies in it, no worms. Right? Now, the interesting thing is that Americans actually don't want to hear the truth, though, because I made a comment on someone's video recently, just some, you know, not to do with the truth, but stuff I'm into. Some guy was posting about comic characters, and I made a comment on his video. I said, Ronald McDonald has killed more people than the Joker. And then he goes, what do you mean by that? So I said, all the people that the Joker's killed are fictional. But look at all the people who have died because of the McDonald's that they've been eating. It causes, you know, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, all this stuff. You know what he did? He was an American. Yeah, he was an American guy. You know what he did? Deleted my comment. So a lot of them Americans, they don't want to hear the truth about their diet. That's why when you look at a lot of Americans, they look like shit, man. All overweight and like they've got this fucking when they have a drink from McDonald's, they don't have like we have. They've got these cups that are the size of his fucking head.
Yeah, gulp.
Yeah, big gulp
Big
cups.
gulps, big gulps.
Now I'm saying all of that to say this, right? Some people don't want to hear the truth, and a lot of those Americans, they know their diet is the food is shit, but they want to keep eating it. So when you bring it out to them, they don't want to hear that, man.
And you
Like,
know
you're
what it
ruining
is
my
too?
party, man.
You know what it is as well. A lot of the times it's food that they like to eat because they're depressed.
Yeah.
A lot of people are depressed.
Like I said, it's addictive. There's an addiction to comfort food and
Comfort food.
I got a quick precept. Ezekiel 4:13.
And we're gonna go back to the main prop.
And it says-
main precepts going on.
It says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them.
And and this is what we eat. We're eating processed foods. We're eating genetically modified food. It's not even real food. It's all crap we eat. And that's why sometimes you get up out of bed and you feel like shit, just out of nowhere. Don't even know why you feel like this.
Yeah.
You know, because it's got something to do with the air, but most importantly, the food. And the food's actually changing you biologically too. Your DNA is being changed. And you know what too? You know what I was thinking, right? Let's just say we were in the kingdom right now in these bodies. You know we would actually drop dead, right? Because our bodies are not compatible with a pure world. Our bodies are only now become compatible being in a toxic world. That's how bad of a state we're in. So this is why the Lord would have to come and bring the changes, including changing our bodies.
they did a study on the true colors, like
Mhm.
brightness, the real hues of color, yeah, the water. And people started getting headaches, man, because their eyes weren't accustomed to seeing true color.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know? It's short as they always said, you get in the real world, it's in the real world, this is a simulation. If you get in the real world with these bodies, you probably die.
You dropped up.
Yeah.
Well, that won't happen anyway because you have to be changed in order to get to the real.
That's it.
the
That's it.
other
But I'm
world
just
anyway.
using that as
Yeah,
a-
yeah,
as
yeah.
an
I know what you're saying.
example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so brother, I want to go back to this now. Yeah, if you somebody give me Job 20, no, read this article as well, brother.
There's the second one.
Yeah, the second one.
Want me to get the Job one for you?
Yeah, give me Job 20 and verse 5. No, as a matter of fact, get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, and read verse 5. No, start with verse 4. Start with verse 4.
Verse 22, you want me to use the article first?
Yeah. No, actually, start with verse 3.
Wisdom of Solomon 4 and verse 3, yeah?
Yeah, but we'll get this first, though. Go on.
Okay, this is from first point. It says, "Not my king, how Britain is going after anti-monarchists ahead of Charles' coronation." And it says, "Not everyone is happy about King Charles' coronation on the 6th of May. Anti-monarchists have planned Not My King protest for the day. However, the British government
No.
However, the British government has passed an anti-protest law involving tougher sentences for anyone participating in disruptive action at major events."
And they're gonna have to do it because a lot of people, again, are showing and expressing their sentiment on the monarchy and as well as their government overall. People just don't like their government, period. But the reason for all of this, the reason why all of this is crashing apart, because we're in a wicked, evil generation.
Yes,
and evil, wicked people have to get their justice.
A perverted nation.
Yeah. So let's go into that. Let's read this now, brother.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 starting at verse 3 says,
Uh-huh.
"But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastard slips, nor lay any fast foundation."
Nor lay any fast foundation. So there's not going to be a foundation in terms of when it comes to in a multitude, an amalgamation of wicked people. So something's going to have to give to where this society is going to have to go. Because when you think about it, if you're ruling the world unjustly, man, and you got a bunch of people that think unjustly, how can you, once again, how can that society take root? It can't take, it can only but go down into perdition. Go on, brother.
Read on, yeah? Verse 4, "For though they flourish in branches for a time,
Right?
yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of the winds they shall be rooted out."
Yeah. In other words, they're going to be put asunder. This society overall, because it worked for a lot of people, I'll tell you the truth. It worked for the powers that be, and it also worked unto those that were cleaving unto the powers that be. So now, because they're not getting that good stuff like they used to anymore, all of a sudden everybody wants to renounce their king. Okay? Because what you have is you have a society which is scared and rude. Let me just use that term. Ruled by unrighteous people. So at once upon a time they were driving their little flashy cars. They were doing pretty good. Now you don't really see too much of that anymore. If you notice, especially when you go to high-end parts of London, you see these people driving these little cars, these sports cars, making all that damn noise. You don't see that happening no more.
That's true, yeah.
Why? Because this place is about to be rooted up. Okay? These people, their whole entire world is about to be rooted up. Let's read that again, because I want to make another point on that.
Wisdom of Solomon 4 from verse 3, "But the multiplying brood of the ungodly shall not thrive, nor take any deep rooting from bastard slips,
Come on.
nor lay any fast
And
foundation."
who are the spiritual bastards in this case? Those that have no connection with the Heavenly Father. That's the Edomites. As it is written that a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
That's right.
Those Amalekites to be exact. And the rest of the other sons of Edom, the various tribes of Edom, they're all bastards. Go on, brother.
"For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds they shall be rooted out."
Exactly. So they're going to be rooted out eventually. So we've seen them flourishing. We've seen them make a great success of themselves and everything, right? Going from place to place, enjoying themselves. But for a particular moment in time. Now get Job 20 and 5.
Job chapter 20 verse 5. that the triumphing of the wicked is short,
Come.
and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment.
And that's what that is. So the joy of the hypocrite was only but for a moment. Wicked people can't thrive forever. The only people that can thrive forever are those that are upholding righteousness.
Salakia. This kingdom's finished, man. This is just off the press, Sky News. People they've set up a forum where people can post messages that everyone can see for the king. from
Wow.
Johnny 1303 5 minutes ago. Since you failed to pay inheritance.
Read that again.
Lord, to read that, bro.
Since you failed to pay inheritance
That's
tax,
wild. That's
use
wild.
that money to pay for your own pantomime
You see?
instead of the public. We are in a cost of living crisis.
But he's right though.
He's right though. He's right.
He got a point.
Some people have no money for the basics in life.
Some people, most people.
Yeah, yet 250 mil is found for your day. Another
Day.
person says, right, all hail the king. Not someone else says, CJ said, hope all the people waiting to see the king and Camilla enjoy the day, but spending so much money when the country is struggling to pay bills, I think is wrong.
It is wrong. It is
But
wrong.
this just shows you that this place is done. You got a major news station allowing people to sign up with their email and post all kind of shit.
That should be happening.
And that's been seen around the world.
That shouldn't be happening. Like all of that stuff really shouldn't. You shouldn't receive all of that. But that's again, like the brother said, that's proving that there's no power to this place.
But that's even twofold, because that's also an agenda, because they want people to see it and get angry anyway to create. You see? Yes. They want people to see it. Don't think that nothing is being, everything is planned out, man. Everything.
They can show the media selective.
Yes.
No, I was gonna say, Slocky, bro. I was gonna say, they're very intelligent. It's really because they got intelligence working with them. They got high level deans, so they know exactly what they're doing.
They said it right here. They said it right here. Post a message for the king ahead of the coronation tomorrow, and we'll include as many as possible below. Messages are moderated, but all opinions are welcome.
Do you know what? That means the moderators probably ain't hit that one yet.
Yeah,
They'll probably censor that out.
they're gonna take that out.
Hey,
Or they might keep them up, just like this, because of what the brother said.
But that shows you that their kingdom is garbage, because even when we were ruling, if anyone spoke out against any monarch's coronation, off with their head. There'll be no
no discussion.
Yeah, there'll be no discussion. You'll be tried for treason, and you'll be your head chopped off, or you'll be hung, drawn, and quartered. See? But this man is a low level kind of man.
And that's why he's going to come through. Now we're going to get back to
Yeah.
the precepts now.
To read, no, you
Job 20 and 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever as his own dung.
And that's what's going to happen. He's going to perish. He's going to lose his kingdom, and then he's going to go down into hell. We're going to rule over him, and then we're going to eradicate them according to the book of Down 1 in verse 18. That's what's coming for these people. Now I want to go back and read what we just read. I think it was in Wisdom of Solomon 4.
I had that.
There's some more meat on that bone.
Back in Wisdom of Solomon 4, we got to verse 5. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable.
That fruit, you see that fruit?
Oh yeah, like you just brought out before.
Yeah, that.
Right, read it again. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not right to eat, yea, meat for nothing.
Yeah, good for nothing. Go on.
For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial.
Go on.
But though the righteous be prevented with death, yet shall he be in rest. For honorable age is not that which standeth.
Yeah, we're going into something else. But the point of the matter is that root of ungodly children is going to be taken up. And that's just the bottom line. This is what we're starting to see right now. We're starting to see the works of the wicked, and it's leading to nowhere. Actually, it's leading to somewhere. It's leading to their own downfall. Because the point of the matter is that knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom.
Oh.
That's the whole point of the matter, man. All right, if you're ruling the world with wicked knowledge, excuse me, I was going to say understanding. If you're ruling the world with wicked knowledge, something's going to give, that particular world is going to be demolished somehow, some way. It's going to lead to that. Yeah, so with that,
I don't understand how they can't look from history. Because if you look at all the wicked people in history, they ruled for a period of time and they were utterly destroyed.
Right.
Yeah, like
their heart, like deceived.
yeah, like this guy. What's his name? That the Mongolian Empire. Genghis Khan. Yeah, Genghis Khan, and he was brutal, man. And in Eastern Europe, he used to even kill Jakes, man. You know, he was brutal, but the empire all came to an end. You know.
He still thinks he can affect their. Where the Babylonians failed, he thinks he can be better than them. You know, where the Greeks failed, he thinks he can be better than them. It's pride, man.
but then he takes on the same customs as these people.
Yeah,
if you can do better than these people, then why are you taking their customs? Why are you taking their gods?
Because he's got no creativity. He's lacking everything.
No, you're right.
Esau's not creative. All Esau can bring forth is death. He steals from everybody. He's the ultimate culture vulture.
Yes.
That's why he's trying to masquerade as if he was everybody in history when he ain't. The only thing he does is make weapons, man. Weapons in war, that's his blessing.
Proverbs 11, verse 29, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart.
Exactly, and that's where it's all gonna go. So this devil is troubling this house, not ruling the people with the right kind of wisdom and doing justice at all. So what do you think's gonna happen? That house is gonna be troubled, and guess what? They're all gonna go down as fools as they are, and guess what? Those fools are gonna be ransom unto us. Let's read that one more time.
Proverbs 11, verse 29, he that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart.
Right, and the fool shall be servants unto the wise of heart. So they're going to be our ransom. So these fools that have begun to rule, they're going to be our ransom. That's why the scripture says, folly is set in great dignity, because they represent that. They're the main fools. They credit themselves and they give themselves high lofty titles and everything. So people are bewitched because they look to be prestigious and everything, but they're really just plain old goddamn fools. Look how they rule in the world, man. The way the world looks shows that they're a bunch of damn fools.
And there's a lot. It's like there's a lot of other nations around the world that hate this place, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. In Italy, they had this festival, and they showed they did this black folk of a black slave. And I said, hang on, Italy, you know? But they were saying that this is what America is still doing to the blacks in America. Basically, they were saying that it represents that blacks in America are still really slaves.
Yeah, but that's just trying to heap shame on Babylon, because them Italians out there, the Edomite Italians, they're just as bad. Man.
Yeah, they're just
wicked races.
They're just as bad. But remember, there's a scripture that said that their children were aimed to please the poor. So that's a part of that.
Yeah,
so just because Edomite or whatever is sticking up for Jake, saying, yeah, brother, help you, fight for power and all that, that's a part of the scriptures. It says their children will aim to please the poor. That's why this knowledge is everything. Because if you ain't in this knowledge, a cracker come up to you and hug you and buy you some sandwich. Next minute, take you down the alleyway and molesting you.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Straight like that?
Yeah, straight like that, man.
Keep going now.
Isaiah 14 and 3. I could read that part to them. Yeah, listen, I'll start from the top. Isaiah 14 and 1, it says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
Right, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So that's these Israelite foreigners. That's what that's talking about. Go on.
It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
Yeah.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for
Yeah, so
servants.
these fools among these other nations, which most of these nations are fools because they don't have the knowledge that we have, they're gonna what? They're gonna be taken as slaves, and we're gonna own every last one of them. Go on, brother.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And they shall rule over their oppressors. Exactly. So the modern day oppressors, as we know it to be the case, is the so-called white man. He shows it every single time. Whenever he gets a chance to show that he's the oppressor, he does very well in showing that regard. All right? So we're going to rule over our oppressors, the modern oppressors, and as well as the ancient oppressors that we had to deal with. They're all going to be taken under our hands, and we're going to rule over them.
That's right.
That's what's coming, because at the end of the day, let's go back and read this again.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, so like verse
11 and 29.
whoa. So like, Proverbs
That's a
11, verse 29, and it says, "He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and
In other words, destruction. Go on.
and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart."
Right. So Esau is going to be a servant unto us. That's what's next in line. The scripture says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. That's why this world is crumbling apart, because the kingdom of heaven is being set up. Right now, as we speak, as we're talking and as things are happening, simultaneously the kingdom is coming in. Okay? And we represent the kingdom. We have the kingdom within. So we're invoking the spirit of the kingdom, and meanwhile the kingdom is happening and this world is crumbling apart. We're transitioning to a new world.
Peace, Abel.
Go on, brother.
Psalms 14 verse 1. A fool have said in his heart,
Right.
there is no power.
And that's the so-called white people. They always say that, man. There's no God. And you know what, too? They're not really crowding themselves that they're atheists anymore. You know, and I think a lot of these atheists, a lot of them know the scriptures. That's why they became atheists in the beginning. You know, they didn't want to take the acknowledgement of the scriptures too tough, so they just said, you know what, fuck it. They want to believe in this hype that there's a free will and I can do whatever the hell I want. But now they're starting to realize that, wait a minute, everything's happening from the biblical perspective. So can I really be an atheist at this point? Is it really cool of me to display that like they used to? Not so. Go on, brother.
A fool in his heart have said, there is no power. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
And that's why they're going to be our slaves. Because they ain't nothing but goddamn fools. One of the reasons anyway. Go on, brother.
Yeah, so back in Isaiah 14 and 3, it says, "And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow,
Right.
and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve,
Yeah.
that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased?
Right.
The golden city ceased.
Right.
It says, The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked,
Right.
and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindering.
God. So this man is going to be under us. That's how he's going to be persecuted. All of the wickedness that he's been doing from start to finish is going to be put to a stop. We're going to enslave them. We're going to chain them up, and we're going to rule over them. And we're going to show you how to rule the kingdom. Hey man, we're not going to, I'm telling you, man, all of this stuff that's going on right now, we're not going to apply this stuff, man. All right, we're going to show you how to really do things the right kind of way. So that's just the thing about that, man. You know, a couple of more precepts and we're going to close out.
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwell in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass on to thee.
Right. You know what that cup represents? The curses.
Yeah, the curses. So all the curses we're under, sicknesses, eye evil towards your own brother, all that stuff, that's going to go on the other nations, man. So they're going to be fighting each other like animals. Yeah, look, you know, they're going to look down on themselves. Their women are not going to I don't. The white woman's. I don't want to really. Sorry, you got to breed. You know, gonna have Edomite man. You got to breed her, man.
But they don't even want them now, bro.
Yeah.
How much more in the kingdom?
How much more in the kingdom? They're not gonna want to do it, but they're gonna have to do it, man.
Can you imagine the amount of crime that's going to be going down in them pits? Like brother hating the East Edomite brother on brother crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's it? What do they call a Karen twerking in the pit?
Yeah.
You're gonna have field Edomites and house Edomites.
Yeah, man.
But you know what though, bro? They gonna have to all be
They're
filled.
gonna be filled up.
Because I can't have no Edom out of my house.
They're gonna want to be a house.
Yeah.
Exactly. Man. They're gonna beg to be a house nigga. Because we're gonna be the crackers. They're gonna be the new niggas, man.
I don't know. I might have a few of them in the house. I don't know. Maybe
Well,
looking after my
they're
lions.
women.
On all fours, so I can put my feet up on it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be some kingdom, man. You know?
Hey, one thing we can't do though is say dance for me, because I can't fucking dance anyway.
Yeah. Hey, some of them can though. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them
But they
can.
jakes, bro.
They're jakes, man.
Oh,
They're jakes.
yeah,
No,
right.
man, no, that's what I'm saying.
He also can't dance.
Yeah.
The Easter can't dance,
Yeah.
man.
All right, we're gonna have comedy hours, and whoever doesn't make us laugh, we're gonna put you in the lines then. All right, we're gonna do so much.
But Easter ain't funny, man.
We'll buy all the Tom.
About meditating terrors. My mind's good. Sit, dying heart. Shall meditate terrors, man.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing
True,
right now.
true.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now, man.
Yeah.
So that cup is everything we've gone through. Verse 22,
And 100 times more.
100
Oh,
times more. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He shall no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
Yeah, so that means that basically this is our last captivity. After this one, we're not gonna get punished anymore. And we're not gonna be punished anymore because we're gonna be changed, transitioning to the new covenant.
To the Bible, you're not going to die.
We're not gonna die, right? So he tried to explain it. You could tell he couldn't really explain it.
Yes.
Because him trying to explain what he's gonna explain, it's gonna sound stupid.
Yeah.
But aren't they the masters of the new covenant or some shit they keep
All right,
saying?
brother.
Yeah.
They keep saying they're the masters of the new covenant.
And the other thing that's going to be beautiful about the kingdom, I think Jeremiah said this a few weeks ago, is that we're going to be able to give people mercy, man.
Yeah.
Because there's our people that are in Iraq or India, and some of them Indians or Iraqis have helped them.
Yeah.
So we're going to have that knowledge, man. I'm going to say, you know what, while the rest of Iraq was treating our people like shit, you were helping them. I'm going to give you a beautiful mansion up there, man. Your own chariot. This is only, you know.
So they're not gonna get no mercy.
You're
Yeah,
right, you're
so
right,
they're
yeah.
going to get some kind of mercy, but Edom's not going to get no mercy, man.
But you know what though, we need to work the kingdom, man. They need to be put in that work.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we
they'll work.
can't give them no goodies yet, brother. We gonna have to suffer
1,000 years.
1,000
Yeah,
years.
1,000
And then once
years.
1,000 years is up, then hey, we can give them the goodies.
Yeah, that's it. But that's the power to be able to give people mercy or
We're going to be judges, aren't
yeah judges or you know like how the cracker stands up in the judge.
we? In the courtroom.
Yeah, in the courtroom, you did this and you did that. Therefore, I send you 20 years. Boom. We're gonna be judges on the earth, man. That's gonna be a beautiful thing, and we're gonna be perfect because we're gonna judge in the same mindset of Yahweh and Hashai.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you go to court, you swear, they make you swear on the holy scriptures, but they don't apply. Their judgment is
So false balance. Yeah, like an Edomite guy got punched over an argument over a phone, and this guy punched him many times and killed him basically. The other guy, yeah, manslaughter. You know how much he got? You know how many years? He only got a year and a half.
Is he an Edomite?
Yeah, Edomite. Yeah, that's not righteous.
one of these Edomite elite or an heir to these Edomite elites.
Yeah.
He essayed his own daughter, man. And then sexual.
Oh.
And then
Well, you know,
got
that
like months.
That's-
months, man.
Well, only gave him months for his own
Gave him
daughter.
His mom. Well, that goes into it's their kingdom, so they can do what they want, isn't it?
And plus these people that are in the judgment seats, that's their ways as well, man.
Well,
Yeah.
Base, man.
Esau's showing you the truth because I've said this before. I think I've done a video about it. But what's the symbol for justice in Esau's system? A woman with scales and a sword, and she's blind.
Yeah.
She's wearing
Yeah.
blindfold. So how the hell are you going to expect to get justice from a woman who's blindfolded? She can't see shit. That's showing you this.
Blind justice.
Yeah, it's a stupid system, man.
Is that Lady Liberty?
No. Lady Liberty's in the murder.
Okay.
That's justice.
Okay.
But it probably goes back to some goddess. I've not done a full research, but it
Yeah.
still goes back to something.
Ancient gods and all that stuff. Yeah, man. You know?
A couple of more precepts, brother.
Yeah. You have to understand that Yahushua is the way Yahushua has been patient, right? Because he got all of that scourging on the cross, and he's patiently up there waiting. So we have to be patient down here.
Yes.
You know, regardless of what we're going through. You know?
You got one already? Go on, bro.
Yes, it's 12. Isaiah, back in Isaiah 14, it says, verse 12, it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did this weaken the nations?"
Yeah. How are they cut down to the ground that did this weaken the nation? Because the Lord allowed them to try for a while, and eventually their own wickedness condemned them, and the Lord added insult to injury when He came and conquered them. Go on.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
And that's why they use the eagle as the symbol, because the eagle symbolizes them being above, beyond. And with that being said, no one can take them down. No one can actually, nature itself can't even take them down. They're above the laws of physics of nature.
Proud bird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks down on everyone.
So that's why they say it in their heart. Read that part again, brother.
It says,
Yeah,
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars
That's
of the Most
why
High.
during Apollo, during Apollo 13, I think it was 1969, they said what the eagle that's landed. Go on, brother.
And that's their symbol. That's Babylon's symbol as an animal.
Yeah.
As well, man.
It says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation
The north.
in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pits.
Yeah. So the minute Esau had that in mind, that's the minute he went down. That's the minute he went down. The minute Esau ascended into the heavens, as he did economically, I'm saying. Now he's about to go down and lose his power. What did Yahushua say? Yahushua said, "He that exalteth himself shall be abased. He that is abased shall be exalted."
Yeah.
So when you reach to a higher status, man, and you start feeling yourself on that, eventually, what happens? You lose that status, and you become base, and that's where this devil is gonna go. So everything, all of the scriptures that we brought out as of later, points to the fact that these devils and this entire system is gonna crumble apart, and those that work behind the system, right? They're gonna be us. Excuse me. They're gonna be under us, serving us, and they're gonna be under us forever. The rightful rulers of the world. All right? Because really, what we are, I'll tell you the truth. We're the true patriarchs of the planet. So everything and everybody is going to have to come back to us anyway. Everything's gonna be ours, where it belongs. So that's pretty much what we're gonna have to say on that.
Only one provision, though, Elder, if they hearken back unto the Lord.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. Go on, brother.
Isaiah 43:11. Right? I am the Lord, and beside me there is no Savior.
You see?
Right.
So no one else is going to save us out of this mess.
Wow,
we're in,
that's
man.
powerful, brother.
And we're in a black mess, a black and brown mess. You know? Yeah, because even the Northern Kingdom, they're in a mess, man. I feel sorry. Even my cousin, he's not in the truth, but he always talks about, Gad. He said that Gad got it the worst, and they did, man, because it was their land. You know what I mean? But even Gad now is waking up. How many Gadites are in GMS? Loads, man.
And you got Gadites that look like Negroes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. They don't just look. It's not only a monolithic way of looking, just one way of a Negro looking. You've got Jakes that look like Edomites, man, Moabites, and spiritually, we're the only group that I've seen that actually teaches this, man.
Yeah, because we're students of reality, like the apostle Paul used to say.
It's a what?
It's a reality.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's
what
perfect.
it is.
Everybody else is making up their own doctrine, so it don't work.
Yeah, it don't work. Yeah.
You know, how is this like? I was going to say, how is the Lord going to scatter us among all the nations? But we're going to look all the same amongst the nations.
Doesn't make sense.
If we're amongst the nations, we're going to look like those nations.
Yeah, it don't make sense, man. Don't make sense.
That's it.
Years ago, I was in Dalston, and a Polish guy came up, who's going back and forth with us, but in a polite way, and he brought us like a big keg of water, man. Like, you know, he had the spirit of the Israelite, man. He was, you know what I mean? He was down with the scriptures, and then we walked off, and he brought us that back, you know?
Go.
So because he looks like an Edomite, let's say he comes into his truth, he's not going to be saved. That don't make no sense.
It's a carnal way of thinking.
It's a carnal way of thinking, man. That's why we say double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone and the ones before them. Because you know that there's a scripture where it says, you know, you've added on to what we've learned. Some people have learned something and they've stopped there, but the apostles have learned more than what, you know, God's given them more knowledge than what their leaders before them. That's why we say double honors unto them, man. You know?
Yeah, so that's pretty much what we're going to say. Hopefully this lesson, this live lesson is edifying to those who, you know, have caught it, and especially most of y'all that's going to probably catch it later anyway. You know, because, hey, man, YouTube has a way of pressing the content of, you know, Great Millstone for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, with that, we're going to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and His Son.
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakah, Kodash.
Wa above the ball.
Wa above above.
Shalom.
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 That little pusher, he's got boxing gloves, right? He's got boxing gloves, right?
We're watching a little